A London derby with more than just local bragging rights at stake ushers in the new year as Chelsea make the trip across town for the Gunners' 2018 opener. Welcome to the Emirates for a capital clash dripping with significance. Wins for all of the teams above Arsenal in the last 48 hours have put the pressure very much on Arsene Wenger's side, and the Blues' no success this evening will provide them with a 10-point cushion between themselves and us in the Premier League table. Former Arsenal midfielder David Hillier is with me for pre- and post-match chat plus co-commentary. David, Happy New Year first of all. Tonight, though, is it must win or mustn't lose?
Yeah, Happy New Year to you too, Dan. I think, from my point of view, didn't get enough points in December as a whole. Need to stay in touch with Liverpool and Tottenham, keep the pressure on. So 3 points, I think, is needed from tonight's game.
We need a win this evening against the Blues, we reckon. For the first time in 2018, let's hear from Nicole Holliday, and she's got details of how to get in touch.
Good evening and Happy New Year to you all. It is a big game tonight, and as always, we want to hear from you guys at home. So this evening's question is, what's your favourite memory from home games against Chelsea? So get your tweets in now using the hashtag #ArsenalNation, and I'll read through some of the best ones a bit later on.
Plenty to pick from as well, both at the Emirates and indeed further back into the archive at Highbury. So start sending your tweets in now if you haven't already. David, what have you made of the last couple of games? We've been away, of course, West Brom at the weekend. Prior to that, Crystal Palace. I must admit, against Palace at Selhurst Park, I thought we saw arguably Arsenal's second, third best away performance of the campaign. We've struggled on those travels, not south of the river.
Yeah, and I thought we may have struggled in that game just because of the resurgence at Crystal Palace. They've been coming into a bit of form. Hodgson seems to have got them going a little bit. And I was a little bit worried about going into this game, but we did take the game to them from the start. I mean, we didn't get as many goals as we could have in the period. Mustafi getting the opener. And I just thought we just dominated them from start to finish. We were sharp, passing was good. It was proper Arsenal pass and move football.
Alexis, of course, came to the fore with a couple of goals. We saw Jack Wilshere chip in with a brilliant assist as well. Yeah. It was a very good all-round performance. And I guess the 3-2 scoreline, as you mentioned, flattered Crystal Palace, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely flattered them. I mean, when Sanchez scored those 2 goals in 5-6 minutes, it just totally killed them off, and they nicked one right at the end. I mean, a nothing goal, really. Arsenal could have easily won that game 5 or 6 and deserved to, but then flip it over to the West Brom game. Disappointing in the final thirds. Good work between the boxes, and just an unfortunate decision going against them at the end of a game, costing the points.
This has been much discussed. Arsene Wenger furious. I was in the press conference afterwards. Yeah. He said that there was no way this should have been a penalty. One fact about this is it does strike Callum Chambers' arm. What did you make of it?
Well, from a defending point of view, back in the day we was told not to slide in on people in the box, but you can still make a challenge. Rules have changed since then. You can't really challenge in the box. So I'd like defenders to be thinking about those rules as they approach a player and get into their defending position. He gets himself set with his arm up, for me, near the ball. And although he doesn't move his arm towards it, I don't think that Mike Dean has got any other option. He's right behind it. His arm's there. If it goes backwards a little bit just before the ball touches it, it's no pen. But because it stays there, I don't think he can give any other decision. And it was harsh, but kind of fair.
Do you think that the controversy coming out of that game because of the penalty decision masked a little bit of an under-par display from Arsenal? You mentioned in the final third we didn't really create that much. Because we're all talking about the penalty, is it really a truer case that Arsenal might not have deserved to win the game anyway, considering the full 90 minutes?
Well, I think on the full 90 minutes, I think Arsenal just edged it. I think they had the better quality. They had the better players on the pitch. They had the lion's share of the play, the best stats over all of the game, although they don't actually have, they don't win game stats. They didn't have that cutting edge, and that's all that they missed. Tonight, with Mesut Ozil back in the side, hopefully we'll get that back, Dan.
Yeah, let's get confirmation of Mesut's inclusion, because we can head pitchside with team news and more. Here's Max Jones with Nigel Mitchell.
Thanks very much indeed, Dan. Yeah, very good evening to you. Happy New Year from pitchside here at Emirates Stadium. First match of 2018 against Chelsea. It's massive, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a big game, Nigel, that's for sure. It's the perfect way, actually, for Arsenal to kind of get their season back on track. I know it's been a bit of a disappointment in the way that Manchester City have managed to pull away so early on, but this is a chance for Arsenal to really go at it against a top 4 rival and really stamp their authority on this calendar year.
A couple of changes from our match on New Year's Eve to talk about as well.
Yeah, I mean, the main one is Mesut Ozil coming back into the side. Arsene Wenger was very secretive about whether he was going to play or not. I'm not sure if that's a bit of off-the-pitch psychology with Antonio Conte, or whether it's unsettled Chelsea's preparations a bit. But yeah, he'll come back in, and obviously we're seeing Laurent Koscielny go out as well after he suffered his injury the other game. So it means that Rob Holding has a chance to come in, and alongside Mustafi, you think there's lots of experience there. He's a World Cup winner, Mustafi, and he's now got to coach Rob Holding and Callum Chambers through this game in that back 3. But if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be too worried, because this is the Rob Holding that played in that FA Cup final. Obviously, he kept Diego Costa quiet. He won the physical battle. He won the mental battle as well. So we should see that again tonight against Alvaro Morata. And what the 3 defenders that we played against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge earlier in the season did so well is got into Morata and really, really made him feel the physicality of our defence. So we'll be seeing a lot more of that tonight.
The one other change, Ainsley Maitland-Niles comes in for Siak Kolasinac as well. That was sort of a forced change as well. But Ainsley's had experience of the big games this season.
Yeah, again, if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be worried about that change. You know, this is an exciting young talent. He's come all the way through from our HLN system. You know, he's been at the club since he was about 8 or 9. So, you know, this is a talented youngster. He's obviously naturally a midfielder, and he's told Arsene Wenger that that's where he wants to play. But when you're a youngster breaking through, you're expected to get more experience in those other positions. And to be honest, I think he's done very well. We saw him play here against Mohamed Salah before Christmas. He didn't do anything wrong. From my memory, I think he gave a good account of himself. And then obviously in the game before that against Newcastle right here, he nearly scored his first goal as well. He went on that mazy run and then just hit it wide. So, you know, this is an exciting youngster, and it's someone that hopefully the whole stadium gets behind tonight, and hopefully all of you guys back at home do as well.
Well, fingers crossed for a happy start to 2018. Max, thanks very much indeed. Enjoy the game. Dan, back to you in the studio.
So this is the Arsenal side that will take on Chelsea. There is a little bit of experience at the back, as Max was pointing out, in Shkodran Mustafi. But when you look at the other defenders, David, Callum Chambers, Rob Holding, Hector Bellerin and Ainsley Maitland-Niles, they are both all younger than 23.
Yeah, I'd like to see the stats. If you put all their games together, have they played more than Arsenal's most experienced defender?
Probably not.
Probably not. So, yeah, looking at the average ages, 3 22-year-olds, a 20-year-old, a 25, Mustafi with the experience. I do worry about that defence. You know, I'm going to put it out there. They've got to play their best. I know we mentioned in the team news there that Holding played in the final against Chelsea, against Costa. He did, and he played out of his skin. He played out of his skin. He needs to do that again tonight. There's nothing else. He needs to play that well. And Chambers on the other side will have to play that well as well. So they're all going to have to be on their mettle. But to win any game against Chelsea, you've got to defend well. Let's face it.
Mesut Ozil, of course, is back in the starting lineup, as the boys were explaining, and he was missed against West Brom, wasn't he? There's no doubt about that. We missed that creativity. Yeah,
we missed it, didn't we? You can see him there, you know, look, face shrouded, keeping himself nice and warm, keeping everything under wraps. But he will be that key person in there to pick those passes out, and we did miss it against West Brom. We've missed it when he's played in some games and he hasn't played to his full potential, and we've missed the Mesut Ozil in games. But when we've seen him at his best, Huddersfield, it's fantastic, you know, rips teams to pieces when he's playing well, and we need a bit of that from him tonight.
3.5 key passes on average per game, more than anyone else in the Premier League this season. That includes the likes of David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne. He has been the man, and he's come to the party against big teams this season, and in fact against Chelsea last season as well. He enjoys these occasions, doesn't he?
He does, and you know, people bang on about him not putting a shift in, and I always defend him with a stat, in the fact that he runs. He is probably, I think it's 3rd or 4th at the moment, because he's missed a couple of games, so he drops down. But he runs more than any. He's in the top 4 players in Arsenal's side when it comes to kilometres covered in a game. And I think a lot of that goes unseen because he doesn't get the ball at the end of a lot of it. It's a lot of unselfish running. He makes a lot of runs off the ball to open up space. But what I love about Mesut is when he does something well, it's like he saw it 30 seconds before you did. And you think, wow, how does he do that? and we need a bit of that tonight.
Special player Mesut Ozil, no doubt about that. He will be needed, as will Petr Cech, who will hope to register his 200th Premier League clean sheet tonight. We've said that for the last few games, haven't we? And we caught up with Arsenal's first-choice keeper recently, who firstly talked about the similarities of playing for the Gunners and Chelsea.
Well, it's the size of the club. Obviously, you know, Arsenal is all the club, not much, but it is, and obviously it's it has a huge tradition, and you can feel the support around. It's amazing, but both teams are the global teams. So anywhere around the world, I went with Chelsea, or I go with Arsenal. You know, you have full stadium for exhibition games. You go for pre-season. You have a huge support everywhere we go. So this, you know, the size of the club and the appreciation all around the world is, and the passion about the game is the same.
And both clubs have enjoyed great success down the years. In history, which players have you particularly enjoyed watching from both teams?
Well, you know, I always love to watch Bergkamp play. You know, and you can pick. You know, it's a bit unfair to choose one player because you have so many fantastic players, and I was so lucky to play with so many unbelievable players in both teams. But you know, first, you know, when you watch Dennis Bergkamp play in his prime, you know, it was amazing to watch what he can do, the vision, the thinking, you know, the execution of the passing and changing, you know, pace and space and technique and goals, and he had everything. But obviously, the first time I played against him, I was aware that, you know, that everything can happen. So it was you watch him on TV, then you play against him with the club, and then you know you have to be aware. But it was different. But at Chelsea, obviously, I played with so many fantastic players. But I have to say, to choose one is very hard. If you have to choose Lampard, if you have to choose Drogba, if you have to choose any other player. I love to watch Deco, for example. When Deco came, it was absolutely amazing to watch him play, train with such a ease and class. You know, he could do anything you imagine with football, and it was fantastic. The same as Santi. If you look at Santi, you just think like, wow, well, this guy, you know, this is just completely, you know, different planet.
Petr Cech reminiscing about players that he's played against and, of course, played with over the years. Still a fantastic performer. Still one of the best in the Premier League. Yeah,
he's definitely in top 3-4 in the Premier League, without a doubt at the moment. I don't think we're blessed with fantastic and charismatic goalkeepers in the Premier League, because a lot of it's about the character. You look years back at the Seaman, Schmeichel, Van der Sar. You know, it's been some really characterful keepers around, but he's up there with one of the best.
We're listing some of his stats there on screen. 4 Premier League titles, 4 Golden Glove awards in the English top flight as well. And this season, 64% of the shots he's faced, he has saved. We mentioned Arsenal's inexperienced backline tonight. He's going to be key, isn't it?
Yeah, when you're talking experience, 750 career appearances almost, 124 international caps. Yeah, and he does direct across the back, you know. And looking at the ages of those lads in the back five, you've got Mustafi in the middle. He's going to be that extra voice at the back, just pulling Bellerin round, tucking Maitland-Niles in, telling them releasing them when they can. And he's going to be really, really important tonight.
Do you think he has a point to prove against Chelsea? Do you think that they might have thought they let him go a little bit too soon? When you play against your former clubs, do you up it just that little bit?
I don't think they wanted to get rid of him, but they, at the time, they said, because he'd given such good service to the club, and I think he was probably due a testimonial or something. They said, look, we're not going to... There is no way we can stop you going anywhere. You have been an absolute credit to yourself and the club. So, but to let him come to us was a big deal for them.
Just very briefly, how long can he go on for, do you think?
This season, next season, I think it'll be wrapped up by the end of next season, yeah.
Let's hope that he can still put in the shows that we've seen over the course of his Arsenal career so far. Time to check in with the boss. Here's Arsene Wenger speaking to Rob Kelly, reviewing 2017.
Now, if you look back at 2017 as a whole, your record, we did some stats in advance of this interview, that your record was played 59, won 37, drew 8, lost 14, scored 115, conceded 70. So in what ways in 2018 are you looking for those stats to improve?
Well, to win all the games, you know, that's always has to be your target, and I think you want to go in the season with always a big ambition, get the team to push itself as very hard, you know, that's we're in a battle there where every point is massively important. That's why we were so frustrated after the West Brom game, and you need to have the ambition to win every game.
Obviously, there's a few question marks about some defenders ahead of Wednesday's game against Chelsea. How much does that influence your decision on whether to go with a back three or a back four?
That's a good question, because I have first to see who is available tomorrow, and after make my decision. That's not completely decided, because I have to wait for the training session to see will Koscielny be available or not. And then I will opt for the tactics, you know, but during the training, of course, we have to work on what we want to do, so they have to have tests before the training session.
Now, one thing I would say about Arsene, and when he puts in young players, they always play with a lot of confidence. They always get a lot of confidence from the boss, because he has no qualms whatsoever. You know, it doesn't matter what tells you that you're good enough. He's got so much belief in the young players going through. You must feel 10 feet tall if you're an Ainsley Maitland-Niles or Rob Holding, who's been out this side recently, to come back in tonight. Yeah,
and I think that's the nature of being in that first team squad. Even when people come in and they sign from other clubs, they say, oh, it's like coming to a new family within a week of being there. So everyone's really comfortable. And you've got to remember, these guys are not just around the players, the first team players, for 2 days before the game. They're there week in, week out, on a daily basis.
Let's move around to Chelsea and get the latest form lines with Nicole.
Yes, Chelsea have had a great start to the season. They are currently third in the Premier League table. They have won 2 and drawn 1 of their past 3 games, but they have lost their past 2 away derbies. Their top scorer is Alvaro Morata with an impressive 12 goals, and Eden Hazard is another one to watch. Now, this fixture last season, we won 3-0, so I'm feeling fairly confident today, guys.
We'll get some predictions just ahead of kick-off. Nicole is confident, and Nicole mentions that 3-0 reverse for Chelsea win for us, of course, last season here. Arsenal were fantastic, and it was a catalyst for change, to coin the phrase, from a Chelsea point of view, because Antonio Conte switched his formation, went on this winning run of 12, 13 games, whatever it was. It was very much the platform for the title success.
Yeah, and he's got us.
We did him a favour.
We did him. We highlighted all of their weaknesses in one game, and he addressed it straight away at the next game. But in fairness, that is exactly what happened. Yeah, I think today he's got a couple of different ways, options of playing. He can go with 2 up front, 3 up front. He can even play 1 up front with a couple off of them. But whatever way he plays, I think, especially with Morata up front, he does give him that option. He pulls off, he drops in behind defences, he's a big target man. They've had a lot of their success with big forwards.
You surprised how good he's been first season in England, 12 goals already?
Yeah, he's settled in really well. Do you know what? Scoring goals early in your career, in the first few games of your new career at a new club, really takes the heat off you, which is what he did. And he's been able to settle in and get the respect which he deserves.
We think it's going to be 3-5-2. Obviously, he's going to be one of the two. The other one, we think, could be Eden Hazard. He might play just off Morata. Last season, he had a bit of a dip. He got back to form after the previous campaign, had a bit of a dip. It's, to a certain extent now, where does he go now? Because he's pretty much done everything at Chelsea. He's been linked with Real Madrid, even in the January transfer window. How good a player is he?
No, he's a fantastic player. I mean, he's very similar to your Mo Salahs on the ball, to your Mahrez's. He can move it, he can take people on, but what he's got, what they haven't got, is that really strong centre of gravity. His core strength, he doesn't get knocked off the ball. His standing start to full speed is in a split second, and he can go past, and that's the problem. He'll pull off on the full, on our wing backs today, I'm sure of that, and he'll get the ball wide and he'll do that, cut across the pitch like he likes to do, and cause problems. So we've really got to get tight to him. He's one to stop.
Yeah, let's hope we are prepared. I'm sure we will be. Time for the key stats ahead of tonight's game. Here's 3 things that you need to know. These are the stats that we pulled out ahead of kick-off for you. 60th meeting, Arsene Wenger versus Chelsea. He has been at the club an awfully long time. Can he get another win? And there have been red cards aplenty. Of course, David Luiz sent off in the reverse fixture right at the end of that 0-0 draw. And in all competitions, no team has won more away games at the Emirates Stadium than Chelsea. Let's hope that they don't get their 6th at this particular venue. It's going to be intriguing to see how they play. We think it's going to be some sort of variation of 3-5-2. We talked about Arsenal must win, mustn't lose. What's the situation for Chelsea here? They could go 10 clear of Arsenal with a win.
Yeah, they could, but there's less pressure on them to do that. They're in a comfortable position. They're playing well. They've had a decent December. They've racked up 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, and they'll be confident that they can go out and get something out of the game. There'll be no pressure. Conte will just say, go out and play as well as you have been recently. Keep the consistency going. The goals will come. Arsenal definitely under pressure to get a win, I believe.
But of course, we've been here before. Tottenham when we won. Liverpool, OK, 3-3. United, we might have lost, but played probably better than the other 2 games. We've upped our game when fellow top 6 clubs have come here.
Yeah, we've seen that happen, haven't we? It's kind of fight or flight. We've been backed into a corner, and all of a sudden we explode and we come out fighting. Just what we've got to do tonight, especially our defence. They've got to be tight. And right up the back of Chelsea, not give them no room at all.
It's going to be interesting first 15, 20 minutes, I reckon. Plenty of responses via social media to the question that we posed earlier. We wanted some memories from you. Here's Nicole with the best of your replies.
Yeah, we've had loads of great tweets in response to that question. So Santi Clasola, what a name, says Ozil's trademark chip. Joe Bagonka says, I remember Reyes' first Arsenal goal like it was yesterday. He got the second one as well. And Ajimatokin Olutu says that 3-0 was a remarkable day that I will never forget in life. As an Arsenal fan, I hope to see more of that tonight, as do we. Keep those tweets coming in using the hashtag AFCVCFC, and you can send your emails in to dan@studio@arsenal.co.uk.
Yeah, really good memories. I remember the Jose Reyes one. He got 2. Adrian Mutu scored for Chelsea in the game. It was a cup game, in fact, in February all those years ago. He never sort of fulfilled his potential for me, Reyes. He was a very good player.
Yeah, I've got a few memories from the old Chelsea day. Well, and Nicole's laughing over in the corner. I only played a couple of times against them. Not good memories at the Bridge, but at home, 1992, Wrighty and Merce scoring in a 2-1 win. Played against Townsend and Dennis Wise. That's how long ago it was.
Was this derby different then to Arsenal-Tottenham or Arsenal-West Ham? Has it become something different?
I think it's always been, I wouldn't say a less meaningful derby, because it's always been a top-draw game. But listen, Arsenal-Tottenham's a derby. Let's get it right. That, for me and for any player coming through the ranks. But this one is the next one down the list, definitely.
Prediction time. Nicole, what are you going for? What's your correct score?
I haven't been right in a while, but I'm going to go for 3-2 to us.
3-2. Lots of goals. Been lots of goals when top 6 have met top 6 here this season. David, what are you going for?
I'm feeling under pressure now because I really want to say a draw, and I know,
I know
that just puts me so much on the fence. Well, if I can't say a draw, I'm going to have to. I'm looking over at Nicole. What should I do? 2-1 Arsenal then. Since I'm not allowed to go with a draw.
OK, I'm going to go for a draw.
But if not 1-1. If not 1-1.
I will go for a narrow. I think it's going to be tighter than people expect tonight. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win, but we're all going for Arsenal wins. Get your predictions in, of course, studio@arsenal.co.uk. We are just minutes away from kick-off. Live radio commentary of Arsenal versus Chelsea in the Premier League is coming up in just a second. Don't go away.
Let's take a look at the Arsenal lineup this evening. Goalkeeper and skipper, Petr Cech. 7, Alexis Sanchez. 9, Alex Lacazette. 10, Jack Wilshere. 11, Mesut Ozil. 16, Rob Holding. 20, Shkodran Mustafi. 21, Callum Chambers. 24, Hector Bellerin. 29, Granit Xhaka. 30, Ainsley Maitland-Niles on the Arsenal bench this evening. Goalkeeper, David Ospina. 4, Per Mertesacker. 14, Theo Walcott. 17, Alex Iwobi. 23, Danny Welbeck. 34, Francis Coquelin. And 35,
Welcome back. We are just seconds away from kick-off here. It is Arsenal versus Chelsea in the Premier League, and it's an opportunity for the Gunners to close within touching distance of the top 4. Arsenal starting this game in 6th position. It's an unfamiliar place for us, David, really. And we said right at the top of the show if this was must win or mustn't lose, and we're starting to get into that category when we have to win games, and not just win one game, but we have to go on something of a run now, don't we? There is no doubt about that.
Yeah, too many draws. It's costing us too many points. You know, you look at the December 4 games drawn, I think 2 of them could have been wins, Dan. It makes a massive difference, especially when you see the teams alongside you getting the 3 points week in, week out, and you're just slipping that. Although we're in that top 6, we're just slipping that a little bit further away. Touching distance it's more like reaching, and then it's grabbing distance. You don't want to get to that. So I think, personally, 3 points tonight is definitely a must.
We'll get set for a start. You can send us your thoughts as well, studio@arsenal.co.uk if you want to get in touch with us here, and we will happily air your thoughts over the course of the game. Our referee is Anthony Taylor. A lot of controversy, of course, about our referee at the Hawthorns in midweek. Let's hope, or should I say at the weekend, let's hope that this time around it's not the official who is making the headlines. I'll rattle through the 2 teams for you in just a second. If you are just joining us, Arsenal with those 3 changes, Mesut Ozil, Rob Holding and Ainsley Maitland-Niles all coming back into the starting lineup, but it is a very youthful back 5 for the Gunners. Petr Cech in goal, back 3 for centre halves of Chambers, of Mustafi, and of course Rob Holding playing for the first time in the Premier League since October the 1st. Hector Bellerin right-hand side with Ainsley Maitland-Niles left. It will be Jack Wilshere and Granit Xhaka in midfield, and it will be Mesut Ozil, Alexis Sanchez supporting Alex Lacazette. We are underway, and if you've been listening in or watching via Facebook Live, then of course to continue listening to the commentary you will have to switch back to Arsenal.com, or maybe for the first time head to Arsenal.com and look for the Arsenal player tab, or you can follow via the Arsenal app. Download that as you would normally do on your smartphone. We are underway. Look at the Chelsea lineup for you as well. Once again, it's a back 3 or a back 5 if you prefer. Alonso and Moses, of course, are the wing backs here. Christensen has had such a good season for Chelsea since coming into the side, alongside Cahill and Azpilicueta. Of course, it's Thibaut Courtois in goal, who gets a touch of the ball as we get this match underway. Fabregas, Bakayoko and Kante are the midfield trio, and then Hazard up front alongside Morata. And the way that the shape is at the moment, David, it would appear that Hazard is going to be in a fairly advanced position. Yeah, what he's looking to do is, just as we speak, Dan, Morata goes for a ball, almost brings it out of control, drops down, but Hazard's picking up that second ball off him. He's picking up the little bits and pieces. He's going to be buzzing around him. But also, we noticed straight away, as soon as Arsenal got the ball at the back, Dan, both of them go high to press, Morata and Hazard. So that's putting Arsenal under pressure. They've got to move the ball quick and sharp across the back to keep the ball moving and make the space in the midfield that they're going to need. Touch for Jack Wilshere. And now it's Alonso who manages to win it back, and Hazard coming forward on the left-hand side, and then Mustafi comes in. Well, he got the ball, but he got some of the man as well, David, there. We've got to be honest. Yeah, he did, and he's jumped in. I think it was actually Callum Chambers, Dan. I don't want to correct you. Free kick being taken, and eventually the cross comes out. Yeah, it may well have been Callum Chambers.
Yeah, I think it was. I think he's gone to make the change. He's just dived in a little bit sharp, hasn't he, to give that free kick away. It's a short corner from Chelsea.
And it comes towards that far post, just over the head of Morata, but the flag is up over on the far side. We are shorn of a replay at the moment. I don't know if our technical guys can maybe flick our screens back to the feed of the game, which would be handy.
Yeah, short corner there, Dan Fabregas, clever as ever, getting on it, taking a really quick one, gets a 2v1 situation and ends up putting a quite dangerous ball across the box early on for Chelsea.
A lot of emails coming through, studio@arsenal.co.uk. And it's a free kick to Arsenal. Here is Chambers on this right-hand side, over the halfway line. Now it's with Hector Bellerin. Plays the ball infield for Granit Xhaka. Xhaka to Mustafi, and eventually he's gone towards that left-hand side, and Mesut Ozil will take a touch. Now it's with Rob Holding, infield towards Granit Xhaka once more. Xhaka will lay it back towards Mustafi. Now it's with Chambers. Chambers will take a touch. Obviously involved in that penalty incident up at West Brom, but I think since he's come back into the side recently, Callum Chambers, he's played well. Yeah,
I think he's drawn confidence from his Europa League and his Carabao Cup performances, and obviously the more games you play, Dan, the fitter you get, and the more confident you feel in yourself and your own abilities, because fitness is the basis of your confidence. Once you feel fit and strong, you can compete, and then you have a few games and get your touch right, then you start getting on top of your game. And yeah, I agree, he has sort of sharpened up the last couple of games.
Got a really good email in from Miles Chappell, but he's gone through the whole squad with his assessment of them. It will take me far too long to read it out, but I really appreciate it. I might get to one or two of the finer points at half-time, Miles, but do appreciate you emailing in. studio@arsenal.co.uk. 4 minutes on the clock here, and Chelsea have possession with Andreas Christensen. And Christensen then gives it away. Jack Wilshere wins it initially, goes straight into Kante. Kante finds Hazard. Eventually it's gone towards Fabregas here. Now it's Morata. Morata loses out to Wilshere. And then Xhaka does well, looks to find Mesut Ozil. Ozil picks it up on the halfway line. Short ball here towards Hector Bellerin. Now it's with Callum Chambers. And eventually it's back towards Mustafi. Not the quick-fire start I would have thought from Chelsea. It seems to be played at a relatively slow tempo. I say relatively slow. Interesting that Chelsea seems to be sitting off Arsenal just a little bit.
They are, aren't they? But they're pushing up to a certain extent. When Arsenal get the ball, we're just seeing Lacazette almost get put in by Bellerin there. They're pushing up to a certain extent when Arsenal are under a little bit of pressure. They're trying to chase Arsenal, but Arsenal with any time, they're just dropping off and saying, you know, we're quite happy for you to pass the ball across the front of us, because this is what they're going to do, try and hit us on the break.
Yeah, here is Moses on that right-hand side. Missed the start of the season because of injury, of course. Sent off against Arsenal in the FA Cup final. Pedro, of course, sent off in the Community Shield. It's been a recurring theme. Red cards, as we know. David Luiz sent off for Chelsea against Arsenal in the 0-0 draw at Stamford Bridge, which I'm going down as one of my favourite Arsenal performances of the season. Arsenal were under pressure, and to get a draw at the Bridge I thought was excellent. And you look at away performances, we mentioned that Crystal Palace game, obviously Everton away as well. Let's see what Moses can do here. Thankfully, Holding is in the way. And now it's with Mesut Ozil. Time to run at Christensen. Looks for Lacazette. He's got space with Alexis left-hand side. And then the challenge comes in from Kante and Lacazette. That's a free kick. Just, what, 25 yards out? Left-hand side of the D ever so slightly. Yeah, a definite free kick for me. I'm not sure if Anthony Taylor was going to give this, first of all. It looked a little bit theatrical, didn't it? But Lacazette cutting across Kante. It's clever, really, because he had a couple of defenders. He was never going to run the defenders in, so he's drawn the foul. Good position from Arsenal. But just before that, Dan, Chelsea actually went 4 against 4 with Arsenal. They let Arsenal attack, left Alonso one side up, Moses the other side, Morata and Hazard. When Morata went up for the challenge, the ball nearly dropped to Hazard, and we nearly had a 4-on-4 situation. Arsenal need to be careful of that. Free kick then, 25 yards out, just to the left. Alexis taking a look at this. Mesut Ozil. Arsenal haven't scored from a free kick this season. The weekend one went down as an own goal. It's Alexis, takes a deflection and spins wide for a corner. Yeah, he goes to go for the right-hand side of Courtois. Gets a deflection, ends up going to Courtois' left. If that goes anywhere near goal, he's in no man's land, but I think it's 2 or 3 metres wide. Just ends up with a corner for Arsenal. This is where Arsenal, for me, have let themselves down in the last couple of games. Delivery from corners. Well, right wing corner will be taken left-footed by Mesut Ozil. In it comes towards the far post, and it's nodded away by Cahill. And then Jack Wilshere will nod it back into the danger area. Cahill again, and then Moses will flick it further forward towards Morata, but Xhaka has got this one covered.
Yeah, it was a much better delivery from Ozil, wasn't it? Into a danger. It didn't really have loads of pace on it. Maybe a little bit floaty, but at least it made it in now.
Arsenal unbeaten in 8, incidentally. A lot of draws in that sequence, of course, to see us drop off the pace in terms of Champions League qualification. This is Hector Bellerin under pressure from Alonso. He's got such a good record this season. 5 goals in the Premier League for the Spaniard. Scored against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge last season, of course. I don't think anyone really thought he would have had his Chelsea career when he was at Bolton and Sunderland all those years ago. Morata's been caught there by Mustafi. It's going to be a free kick to Chelsea, just a little late. Jazza's been on, says Jazz from London. Excited to see Rob Holding back in the lineup. I hope Arsenal shows signs of last year's performance in the FA Cup final. Arsenal to win 2-0. Free kick to Chelsea. Fabregas standing over this one. 40 yards out, left-hand side. Fabregas plays it short for Eden Hazard. Here is Fabregas once more, who will roll it back for Azpilicueta. Now it's with Christensen. Just has to scurry back inside his own half. Now it's with Fabregas. Fabregas curls it forward, hoping to get Hazard in, but that's overhit by quite some way.
Yeah, good closing down from Arsenal. I'm impressed with Christensen, his start so far for Chelsea. He looks really comfortable at the back, doesn't he? I know he went out on loan for a couple of seasons, come back much stronger. Conte's put him straight back in the side, and he's paid the manager back with some good, strong performances. He looks really comfortable and mature in there.
Kante, Player of the Year last campaign, of course. Now it's with Hazard, who's also won that particular award. Moses on the right-hand side making a run. Hazard cuts back in field. Ozil stays goal side. And now it's with Cahill, who comes forward from the back. He's got Alonso further left. Here is Marcus Alonso. Alonso up against Hector Bellerin. Short for Cesc Fabregas. Fabregas will lay it back towards Kante. Kante looks for Christensen. And now it's with Fabregas. First time for Hazard. Good movement from the Belgian. Edge of the penalty area. Still has it. Now Morata takes over inside the box. Chelsea break forward. It's towards Alonso, looking to drive the cross in here. Won't fall for Hazard. Cleared away. Arsenal defenders looking across to the assistant, believing the flag should have gone up, but nothing doing. And the pressure is still on. This is Morata up against Mustafi and Chambers. Now it's with Christensen. Blues just beginning to dominate play all of a sudden. This is Fabregas. Arsenal can't get a touch here. Now they can. Fabregas gives it away. Xhaka and Wilshere and Mustafi and Chambers all looking to try and trade passes. Now it's with Hector Bellerin through the legs of Alonso. Wilshere opens it up nicely for Ozil through the centre. Alexis left-hand side. Here is Alexis Sanchez. Chelsea on the retreat. Chip forward towards Ozil. Just too much, and it bounces away for a goal kick to Chelsea, but delicious play coming forward from the Gunners.
It was sweeping move. Bellerin starts it off by taking a little chance, sticking it through Alonso's legs, opens a play up. Jack Wilshere, nice splitting pass. Ozil finds Sanchez on the edge, and Sanchez tries to put it back to him, and I kind of think that's the right pass to try and make as well, but unfortunately it's a yard too long. Chelsea on the attack.
This is Morata looking for Hazard, edge of the penalty area, left-footed strike. It's a good block. Chambers was in the way. Yeah,
Chambers has made the right decision there. He's run up to Hazard. He's got his arms down by his side this time, which is always good to see that he's learnt from his previous game. Marks him well, doesn't get drawn into trying to make a tackle. I think Hazard's shot was going wide anyway, Dan, but they've got a corner from it.
And goes a signal from Fabregas deep towards the far post. Petacek comes and makes it look easy. And then we'll thump it out to Alexis Sanchez on this near side, but I think Chelsea have got that one covered. It's actually going to come off a Chelsea player. Did it come off Kante there? The referee basically says to the assistant, give it to Arsenal.
Yeah, Antonio Conte is remonstrating fiercely with Anthony Taylor, but it has gone right out by the referee's assistant, and he has still waited for Anthony Taylor to put his arm up and give a direction before he's put his flag up. That must incense the managers, because if you see it, you see it. Just give it.
Closest person to it was the assistant. Ridiculous, really, anyway.
I think it did, in all fairness.
Yeah,
I think it did actually deviate and did get a touch.
This is Cesc Fabregas for Chelsea, who've managed to win it back here. Back towards Alonso, forward towards Hazard, but he won't get there. And Mustafi will. Now it's with Bellerin. Chambers. Bellerin down the line, looking for Lacazette. The ball just goes out of play here. Baz has been on, says very happy New Year to all Gooners and especially to you guys in the studio. Wish I'd been there tonight, but in mind and heart, I'm always with the team. This is Christensen under a bit of pressure from Wilshere and Lacazette. Now it's with Gary Cahill. No out ball, has to go back towards Courtois, and Courtois will thump it forward. Should be comfortable for Mustafi, and is. Baz says good to have Mesut back in the starting lineup. Here is Azar for Chelsea. Morata to his left-hand side. Azar inside the penalty area, still going, moving from left to right. Central position, tries to ping it over to the far side where Moses was stationed. But Arsenal have got players back, and it's cleared towards Lacazette. Cahill gets a little too tight. Lacazette tries to play the ball in field for Ozil, but Chelsea have it again. Bakayoko slides in. Ainsley Maitland-Niles makes it his, and then Ozil will fire it off towards Alexis Sanchez over on the left-hand side. Alexis in field to Ozil. Could be an overload here. Back towards Alexis inside the penalty area. Can't get away from Azpilicueta, and Arsenal are forced back outside the area. This is Maitland-Niles low balling, comfortable for Courtois.
Oh, we talked about it in the pre-match show, didn't we? How important was Mesut Ozil going to be in both the attacks so far down that left-hand side? He's fed Alexis Sanchez. The second pass wasn't quite good enough for Alexis, so he's had to hold it, wait for the overlap from Ainsley Maitland-Niles, but two really good sharp attacks from Arsenal in the last couple of minutes, and it just shows you when Chelsea do attack and leave them spaces, Dan, it does leave them just open and susceptible to that quick Arsenal break, but we've got to move the ball quickly.
Meanwhile, Morata could be in here, and Cech backs away, and Morata for Chelsea, puts it wide. Oh, that's a shocking miss.
Oh, it's an absolutely awful miss, but I'll have to see it on a replay. Callum Chambers looks like he's running up the pitch expecting an offside. He's totally left Morata. He can't recover and pick him up. You've got to defend first.
What happened here, David? Ball over the top, and Chambers has just let him go.
I think Chambers was thinking that Mustafi kind of had him in his sights, but he's come and run off the back of Chambers. For me, Chambers has got to go with him all the way.
Well, that's a massive let-off here because Morata's in one-on-one and he's put it horribly wide. Big let-off. Chelsea on the back foot now because Lacazette is coming forward for the Gunners. Plays it to the left-hand side. Maitland-Niles will pick up the loose ball. Let's see what the wing-back can do. Plays it back here for Mesut Ozil. Forward for Maitland-Niles. Tries to turn it back towards Lacazette, but Fabregas is there. Now it's with Kante. Fabregas once again. Maitland-Niles wins it back, and then Fabregas does likewise. Kante shuffles it forward. Hazard loses out. Mustafi falls over, and Bakayoko takes over with Morata on the right-hand side. Impetuousness really from Shkodran Mustafi, who's now back in position. This is Eden Hazard. Pings it over to the right-hand side. Great ball taken first time on the chest from Moses, who controls on his left side. Drills one in low to the near post. Morata is there, but so is Petr Cech.
Well, that ball does find its way all the way through, doesn't it? And you think Morata's going to finish it. I don't want to talk too much about it, Dan, because this game is going end-to-end at the moment. Arsenal on the break now with Jack Wilshere.
He's got to do better there, Morata. You know, here is Granit Xhaka for Arsenal over the halfway line, short for Jack Wilshere. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez. One back by Chelsea. We've had one very good opportunity. Malia Tariq says, come on Arsenal, let's have a great game tonight. Question for you guys, what should we do in the transfer window? Well, I'll ask that David at half-time. Give me a nudge, Mahila, and I'll make sure David answers, but as Mr. Hillier rightly says, it's just livening up a little bit here. We've had 15.5 minutes, no goals, but big chances. Max Snyder's been on, so still really cold here in Wisconsin. But regardless, let's get 3 points. Mesut Ozil for Alexis Sanchez. Ozil once again on the left-hand side. Maitland-Niles inside the full-back, gets inside the penalty area, looks to go forward. Was he brought down? Referee says no pen. Cleared away. Maitland-Niles, does he slip, stumble, or was he caught? We'll have another look on the replay in a second. Mesut Ozil breaking forward, still inside the penalty area. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Alexis Sanchez. Oh, he's in a boat! Oh, he's in on both boats, and he's got Thibaut Courtois, who grasps it. How on earth has that stayed out? Hit both posts and then into the arms of the keeper. It looked like it was
unbelievable.
In.
Unbelievable. One post across to the other. It's a catalogue of events after we think we should have got a penalty. It's almost gone right the way along the line. It has not deviated at all, and the spin has just popped it out. It's getting quite lively, and we know that there's a great record of sending off in these ties, Dan, and the way the game's flying at the moment, tackles flying in. I wouldn't write off a booking at the moment because someone's going to fly into a tackle somewhere.
Big opportunity for Arsenal. Big penalty shout as well. We've not seen it again. It's on the other side of the pitch to where we are. So I'm sure that television replays will give us another glance at that.
The thing is, if Anthony Taylor doesn't think that's a penalty, in my mind, Ainsley Maitland-Niles has gone down wanting a penalty.
Yeah.
I can see him from here. He's looking at the referee. His arms have gone up like he has been fouled. And genuinely, he believes he has, the way he's reacted. If he hasn't been fouled, that's simulation. Nothing's been done about it. So where does this law lie?
Alexis Sanchez caught by Kante, who comes forward now for Chelsea. Moves away from Maitland-Niles, but denied by Xhaka, and then Alexis slides in and he's caught Moses. Has he? No. Play continues. Mesut Ozil looks to bring it back in. Now it's with Jack Wilshere. Central position. Hector Bellerin through towards Lacazette. Not good enough. Alonso is there. Moses is still down. Anthony Taylor's let a couple of things go here. He was in a very good position for the penalty incidentally.
He was.
He was only 3 or 4 yards away, looking right at it. A much better view than pretty much everyone else in the stadium. Here is Marcos Alonso coming forward. Moses is just back up on his feet, and Antonio Conte is saying to him, get back in position. Meanwhile, Morata comes forward. Now it's with Hazard, left-hand side, as Chelsea break forward on the left. Angle of the box. Hazard back towards Fabregas, central position. Fabregas rolls it to Moses, who miraculously is okay. Here is Moses up against Ainsley Maitland-Niles. The ball into the near post, but Petr Cech is there. Maybe now we might get another chance to see that penalty on our monitors. Well, we're completely reliant upon the TV directors here. We'll let you know.
It's absolutely end-to-end now. Arsenal going down the left-hand side now with Mesut Ozil. He must have run 40, 45, 50 metres with the ball.
Although his cross is no good, Cahill will clear, only as far as Xhaka. Now it's with Jack Wilshere. Wilshere short for Xhaka once again. And now it's with Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
I'll tell you what, Dan, you've got to be really sharp if you want to be the provider of that key pass, because all the key passes that have gone in today have been first-time passes so far. No one's been able to take a touch and then play the good one. It's all had to be seen very early and played early.
Long towards Lacazette, edge of the penalty area, cleared away by Cahill. Now it's with Fabregas. Fabregas short for Morata, just inside the Arsenal half. Now it looks to come forward, but good challenge from Hector Bellerin. Brilliantly done from Hector. Now it's with Mesut Ozil. Forward for Alexis Sanchez. Back towards Ozil. Left-hand side. Maitland-Niles racing forward. The ball ricochets through for Moses. Has to use Courtois, who in turn thumps it forward to the halfway line. Here is Holding. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez over on that left flank. Ainsley Maitland-Niles further left still. It's on his right foot. Looks to roll it back here towards Granit Xhaka. Xhaka, central position, 40 yards away from goal. Wilshere has it, edge of the box, pushes it forward towards Alexis Sanchez. It's cleared away by Chelsea. Maitland-Niles gets there ahead of Alexis, and then Alexis looks to try and turn inside Moses and wins a corner.
Yeah, really good mobile work from
Here's
those
the penalty
three down
on
the
our
side.
monitors again. Let's have another look, David. What do we think?
Yeah, we're just having a look. Oh, he's clipped himself.
He's clipped his own.
He's clipped himself.
So he's not dived. He's clipped his own heel.
I don't think, maybe he's not aware that he did. That's why he's looking behind him like that.
In comes the corner towards Mustafi, cleared away, mindful for Holding, and Chambers cleared by Bakayoko. And out for another Arsenal throw on this near side. I think referee's got that spot on.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said it at the time, he was in a really good position. And I can now 100% see that he wasn't appealing for a penalty. I think it was just the way he went down. His arm went up in the air, Ainsley's. But I've got to say, a couple of good decisions from Anthony Taylor in the last 5 minutes.
Jack Dillon's been on, says, hi, chat, showing him about no Rambo, as I believe it's the type of game that he likes. Holding and Callum to keep cool tonight, crucial that, but Lacazette to cover himself in glory and will win 2-1, says Jack. studio@arsenal.co.uk if you want to get in touch with us here at the Emirates. 24 minutes remaining of this first half. Plenty of cut and thrust, some big chances for both teams. Still 0-0. Hazard flicks it on for Morata. Back toward Hazard, but Cech is there to the edge of his penalty area to collect and then to throw out viciously towards Callum Chambers, who in turn will look to Hector Bellerin. Bellerin up against Fabregas. Token challenge from the former Arsenal man, nowhere near the ball. And Chambers will now find Holding.
Oh, Chambers just played that ball.
Right across the face of the penalty area.
Almost between Hazard and Morata when they're only 10 metres apart. He's fed it between them. I just think a couple of times coming down this right-hand side, Hector Bellerin's getting the ball and he's not got an option down the right-hand side. Lacazette's coming inside, being blocked out by Alonso. Bellerin's got no option, and we just seem to go backwards when we come down the right. When we come down the left, as we are now, though, because we've got Ozil there with Sanchez and all the movement, we've got lots of options. That's why all our attacking is coming down the left at the moment.
This is Mesut Ozil, and now it's with Alexis Sanchez. on that left-hand side. Infield looking for Granit Xhaka. Xhaka away from Fabregas, does well. Now it's with Jack Wilshere. Spreads play to Hector Bellerin. First time cross in, far post, no one there. Bar Moses, who will clear away, but straight to Xhaka. Gets the half volley away. Kante with the block, and then Cahill with the clearance. And it's towards Morata, but he's crowded out by a combination of Holding and Chambers, and Arsenal come forward again. And it's Mesut Ozil, left-hand side, through towards Lacazette. Turns in the area, gets the shot away. Brilliant save by Courtois.
Oh, it's a lovely turn. Takes it, spins to his left, right foot down to Courtois' left. We're going to see it again. It's just that trio of players, Lacazette, Ozil, Sanchez. I think in the end it's half comfortable for Courtois, but that's because he's such a long-bodied keeper. He can just stretch right out, got down to it quite easy. Corner for Arsenal.
In comes the corner towards the near post, cleared away by Morata. Alex Lacazette without a goal in 6 for Arsenal. It's the longest drought from an Arsenal point of view. Here is Bakayoko for Chelsea. Comes forward over the halfway line. Short for Marcos Alonso. He's got Eden Hazard to the left. It's still Alonso. Now it's with Morata. Bakayoko through towards Alonso again. Loses out. Wilshere helps clear, as does Mustafi. And now it's with Alexis Sanchez, central position. Back towards Xhaka. Xhaka, the ball just a little off, and always struggling to keep that in play, really, was Mesut Ozil. Andrew Frank says, hi guys, well, the typical Mike Dean look at me decision cost us at West Brom. I'm still baffled. That's why we didn't rotate more. The team looked very jaded. The home team were bottom of the league, so why does the manager not trust his squad? It's a good question, that, Andrew. What are you moaning and groaning about?
I'm just looking at the save from Courtois that went across the line. He got his right hand down to it, he had no right to. It's just made it inside of the post, all the way across the line, and then off of the left-hand post and out. Unbelievable save, Dan.
Fabregas for Chelsea. Marcos Alonso, now it's with Eden Hazard. Turns away from Chambers. Still has it, Hazard. Fronts up Bellerin. Angle of the penalty area, left-hand side. Looks to shuffle it back to Fabregas. Fabregas caresses the ball to the right-hand side of Moses. Angle of the box, right flank now. Moses drives to the byline. Looks to get the cross in. Wins a corner as Maitland-Niles gets the block in.
Yeah, good defending from Maitland-Niles. He's up against Victor Moses. Pacey, skillful, strong. Does the right thing, though, stays on his feet. As soon as Moses enters the box, he knows he can't afford to stick his foot in. Good defending, puts it out for a corner.
Fabregas will take this corner on the right-hand side, and he will be an outswinger from the one-time Gunners captain. In it comes. Curled towards Bakayoko with the header, but it's over the crossbar, and it's not the best from the summer signing from Monaco. Dhananjay Ravi Kumar says, hello folks, Happy New Year. Sitting in my lab listening to your commentary, trying to read a paper on superfluid helium, hoping for superfluid football from Arsenal today. That's DJ from New York.
Does he need some help with that paper?
Yeah, don't look at us.
Yeah.
Don't look at me anyway. How was your chemistry at school?
I can't even spell chemistry.
Presuming it is chemistry. Here is Jack Wilshere up against Kante, breaking forward, central position. Square ball here for Mesut Ozil. Ozil to the left-hand side, and Alexis Sanchez. Angle of the Chelsea penalty area on that left flank, just outside the box, in fact. Now it's with Mesut Ozil again. Antonio Conte is kicking every ball on the sidelines, doing all the pointing, all the shuffling, all the screaming. Arsene Wenger sat down, cool as you like. Just asked Danny Welbeck to warm up, incidentally, and Alex Iwobi for that matter. This is Morata. Chelsea have won it back. It's towards Hazard, but Mustafi reads that well, then looks to get it forward towards Lacazette. Brilliant challenge. Come interception from Christensen. Lacazette, I think, went a split second too soon anyway, but well done, the young man.
Yeah, he just run off Christensen, didn't he, Lacazette? But Mustafi spotted it early, and even though he played it first time and it was 25, 30 metres away when he played it, Lacazette was only a minute inches offside, but you've got to play that pass that quick. If you, like I said earlier, if you take a touch in this game, space is gone, it's going to be an offside, or the pass isn't going to be there.
Fabregas with a poor ball. Wilshere has it from Lacazette's layoff, and suddenly it's Ozil trying to get through, but the ball from Wilshere far too strong. George has been on, says Happy New Year to all Gunners and you guys. Not the fast start I would have liked. Hopefully we can pick it up and get more on attack. It's good to see Ozil in the starting lineup. We lack creativity without him. If Alexis does go, she's looking very likely. Who do you think we should replace him with? Come on, you Gunners. Must-win game tonight to keep up with the top 4. Who would you like to see, George? Well, talk about Wilf Zaha when we were at Crystal Palace. Left-hand side he played. That's presuming Alexis goes. He might not. Nice day. Sign a new contract. Fabregas for Chelsea, through towards Bakayoko, edge of the area, gets the shot off, good stop from Petr Cech, and it flies over. That's a good strong hand from Arsenal's #1 against his former club.
It was Bakayoko with 2 goals already this season, looking to get his third, comes in off the right-hand side, cuts across through the defenders, Fabregas picks him up, he gets the shot off nice and early, doesn't he? But it's straight at Cech, it's firm, but Cech puts it over with a strong hand.
So Fabregas get ready to take the corner here. Left-sided, right-footed, and it comes fair. Delivery and the glancing header just over. Who got on the end of that? Was that Cahill? Couldn't quite see who it was.
I think it was Cahill, yeah, but there was I think there was infringement on Jack at the near post. Someone's just given him a little shove in the back as the ball was delivered in. It's a great delivery.
Petr Cech goes and retrieves.
No, it's not. It was Morata with Morata with the head and the push on Jack. So I think pushing Jack in the back opened up the space for Morata at the near post. So it wasn't as good as we first thought, Dan.
Here is Callum Chambers for Arsenal. As the Gunners come forward, wants to go, oh, that's poor. Kante reads that. Wilshere caught on his heels, and Chelsea come forward 4-on-4, but Chelsea slow to react. Now they've got Hazard breaking forward, though. Still Hazard inside the penalty area, looks for the right footer. Chambers in the way, Bellerin will clear. Arsenal escape, get a little bit lucky. Now it's with Marcos Alonso. Looks to spread the play to the right-hand side. Victor Moses looking for Bakayoko. Good strong challenge from Holding, who does well. Only as far as Azpilicueta. This is Moses, who's coming back from an offside position, and the flag goes up.
Yeah, it's quite a funny game, this. It's going in little spells, really quick little spells, isn't it? From one team having pressure to the other team. Arsenal on the front foot now.
Play on, says the referee, as Lacazette goes down. He runs into Fabregas, or Fabregas runs into him, and the referee thought about stopping play, but as Arsenal have possession pretty much in the same place, he allows play to continue. This is Maitland-Niles over on the left-hand side. Back in field for Alexis Sanchez. And eventually it's gone towards Mustafi, but it's far too much on that one from Shkodran Mustafi all the way through towards Courtois. John's been on, says, hi guys, John are here, regular listener, very impressed with the team today over the last few games, impressed with Maitland-Niles and Cech, hoping to win 2-0. Happy New Year. And to you, John, good to hear from you. Hope you're well. Here is Andreas Christensen for Chelsea, forward for Fabregas. Fabregas tries the ball round the corner again, but again it's no good. Arsenal pick it off easy, and Xhaka will play it forward for Mesut Ozil. Alexis Sanchez on the move. Here is Alexis, edge of the box on his left foot, tries to slip it back towards Wilshere, but Azpilicueta is there to clear it away. And then eventually it's Moses off Maitland-Niles, then back off Moses and out for a throw.
Yeah, Alexis guilty giving the ball away there, but do you know what? You can see exactly what he's doing. He pulls to the left-hand side of the box, and then he wants to come back across the face of the box, and he's looking to try and thread the ball through any little hole. Just didn't make it that time. Carried on after, won the ball back, forced a throw in along with Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
This is Rob Holding. 15 minutes to go of this first half. And it's Mustafi and now Wilshere. Wilshere spins away from Fabregas, looks to use Xhaka back towards Mustafi. This is Holding. Left-hand side is Mesut Ozil, forward for Alexis Sanchez. He's got Maitland-Niles further left still. Alexis Sanchez looks to battle away but loses possession. Chelsea have it again. Kante plays it back towards Courtois, has to stretch to keep it in, but stretch he does, and then left-footed plays it long towards Morata, beaten in the air by Chambers, but the ball drops for Hazard. Hazard runs into Hector Bellerin. Bellerin's challenge is good, and then Fabregas wins it back, but he's caught by Wilshere. Yellow card, Wilshere takes his medicine, but I think he's a little unlucky there, Jack.
I think he is a little unlucky. It's a slide. He didn't really catch Cess here. He's had a little nibble. Hazard's got away with it. Good tackle from Bellerin. Do you know what? I think he's allowed to go for that ball. He's committed into it. Well.
He's not going for the man here.
He's not even looking at the man. And to be on it, Cess has gone into Jack, and I know if he hadn't slid in like that, it wouldn't have happened, but it's not a booking in my...
Free kick taken short. Hazard inside the penalty area. Left-hand side looks to whip in the cross, gets it all wrong, gets way too much on that, and it's out for a goal kick. Jules has been on, says, evening, nice, happy New Year. Much more positive start than New Year's Eve. Still big gaps in our defence, though. We play so much better against the big teams, don't we? We do, Jules. Can't believe that Alexis' shot didn't go in. Where are my beta blockers? Come on, you Gunners, cheers. PS reckon Jack and Mesut will stay, says Julie B. So, goal kick taken. Mesut Ozil has it right-hand side, deep inside Arsenal territory, and then left-footed, plays it towards Rob Holding. Holding will control, And Holding will then slip it forward towards Mesut Ozil. Ozil has to track back inside his own half under pressure from Azpilicueta. Here he's Holding. He's being held by Morata, and the referee's got to give a free kick there, and does. Any thoughts on half-time Opta analysis as yet, David, or do you want a little bit more thinking time? So we've got 13 minutes to go until half-time.
I like to kind of notice some sort of trend.
Here is Lacazette, who's offside.
Yeah, I like to pick up on trends, and today, or this evening for me, Chelsea, most of their attacks coming down the left-hand side, but Hazard's always pulling to the left, and he's getting the support from Cesc over here. And similarly, Arsenal, the majority of their attacking down the left-hand side, and that's because of Ozil and Sanchez. So we're just going to look at our attacking thirds at half-time.
Fabregas. Now it's with Bakayoko. Forward by Fabregas again, looking to hit Morata here, but that's good defensive work from Mustafi, who just got the studs in to flick the ball away, and it turns out to be a good ball for Maitland-Niles as well on the halfway line. He will flick it infield for Chambers. Maitland-Niles again, he's a little out of position, but he's still coming forward, tries a 1-2 with Wilshere. Ozil gets involved. Maitland-Niles again, now over on that left-hand side. He's done really well, the 20-year-old. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez in towards Lacazette, easy for Courtois. Luke Johnson says, I wasn't too confident at the start of the game, but we seem to have had a good start, and hopefully we can take our chances. Hopefully we can win this and start a good run of games. I think we can secure this one 2-1. Come on, you Gunners, says Luke, who's been on. And Courtois will play it out towards that far side. Oh, a bit of a mix-up there, and Lacazette nearly taking advantage of a poor ball from Moses. So close to getting in. This is Kante. Forward for Hazard on the halfway line. Flicks it to the left-hand side, and Fabregas. Marcos Alonso on the move. Fabregas looks to drill it towards Bakayoko. Oh, and he couldn't quite take it first time. I think he thought he wasn't going to get to that, whereas he probably was going to if he had just concentrated. Great ball. It was a great ball, wasn't it? He just sort of pinged it with a bit of fade on it. Run a little bit, I don't know. Yeah. I think, along with you, I think he thinks Holding's going to get a touch on that, and he's spun and he's just not in the right position to receive it. It was a lovely ball from Fabregas. Yeah, one or two have been a little off from Fabregas today, but he's got such a wide range of passing. Here he is again. This time has to go all the way back towards Thibaut Courtois. And Courtois will knock it long towards Marcos Alonso. Ball goes out of play. Max Schneider says, knock on wood, but Czech is meant to break his clean sheet record today, yeah, against the former club. Yeah, that would be right. Let's hope so. Here is Hector Bellerin. Under pressure from Fabregas, has to go back towards Chambers. Chambers for Petr Cech. Cech will knock it away, and then Xhaka will flick it on. This is Lacazette. That's clever for Mesut Ozil, looking to show some pace on the right-hand side. Ozil has to just halt his run, though. Marcos Alonso gets back goal side. Now it's with Granit Xhaka. Xhaka, clever for Alexis. Central position, left-hand side, away from Bakayoko. Still going forward. Maitland-Niles gets to the byline, pulls it back. Can he? He can for Alexis Sanchez. Alexis looking to curl it to this near side, and Ozil left-footed back inside the box towards Alexis. Good header away by Azpilicueta, and the ball's going to bounce towards Hector Bellerin and out of play. Yeah, Alexis and Mesut Ozil playing a 30-yard 1-2 again. Mesut nearly finding Alexis as he runs into the 6-yard box. Good pressure from Arsenal down at the moment. It is. This is Lacazette. Now it's with Hector Bellerin. Bellerin loses out. Hazard's on the move. Can he get away from Chambers here? He steps away from one challenge and away from Xhaka. Plays a curling ball over to Moses on that right-hand side. Arsenal regroup at the back here. Chelsea haven't flooded forward. This is Bakayoko stretching. Now it's with Hazard. Hazard looking to try and turn away from Xhaka for the second time in a matter of minutes, and then Moses with the attempted cross. It ricochets up off Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and then Moses is strong, gets to the byline, whips in the cross, too high for Morata, cleared away by Hector Bellerin. Kante looks to win it back. Morata inside the penalty area, looks to roll it back for Bakayoko, brought down. Yes, says the referee, right on the edge of the penalty area. Yeah, Xhaka's not happy with it, but it comes from a mistake from Alexander Lacazette. He waits for the ball to come to him as if he's a centre-forward receiving the ball on the halfway line, when really he's a defender
almost on the edge of his box. He needs to come to that ball, get a touch on it and clear it out of the way. Xhaka just, I don't know, he needs to hold his ground there, doesn't he? He's going nowhere, Bakayoko, and he comes in the back of him for no reason. It's a really good position for Chelsea.
Yeah, right-hand side, just to the right, but very central, only a foot outside of the box. Is it too close in, as they say? Well, we'll find out here. Marcos Alonso is standing over this one. Well, there's so many talented players in Chelsea colours here. They obviously know that the left wing back can strike them. Morata, Hazard just outside the 6-yard box, making life difficult for the Arsenal wall, who are just a yard outside of their 6-yard box here. So let's see what Chelsea can do. Alonso just over the crossbar. Well, wasn't the worst, but one of those classic cases where you're probably just a bit close in.
Yeah, he's a bit close, and you know, we can't really feel it, but I'm sure there's a little bit of wind turbulence down there. It's been a very windy couple of days, and I'm sure there's a little bit of it going on down there, but as you said, it's only a short distance to get it up and down, and that one's ended up 2 or 3 feet over the bar.
7 minutes to go until half-time. Jack Wilshere powers away from Cesc Fabregas, showing really good pace here. Wilshere prods it forwards here for Lacazette. Back towards Wilshere, covered by Kante and Bakayoko, who win it fairly, but gift the ball to Ozil. Here is Mesut Ozil coming forward, central position. Left-footed strike! Wide of the target. Good effort from Mesut Ozil. We don't see that often from Mesut, do we? That was a good hit.
We don't, but he really wound it up for this one, didn't he? Jack Wilshere getting the 1-2 back from Alexandre Lacazette, almost losing it. Ozil playing the 1-2 with Xhaka. I don't think he's got any other options, and the ball just sits up for him. It's a good strike, just dropping in front of Courtois.
Arsenal come forward again. Mesut Ozil again, really enjoying his football tonight. This is Alexis Sanchez. Ozil inside the penalty area, looking for the back heel towards Alexis, spins his man, runs into trouble. Fabregas is there, he's challenged, and that's a free kick. And I see what Anthony Taylor has given there, but Arsenal, he just wouldn't drop inside the area.
Yeah, and I can see why he's given it. It is a foul. It's a challenge from behind. He does win it cleanly. We're just looking at the lovely 1-2s and back heels from Alexis and Mesut Ozil, but he loses out to it there. The challenge is from the side and behind, isn't it? So it's got to be given. But exciting little spell from Arsenal there.
Colin Peters been on, says, are our rivals competing for Champions League positions all have managers on long-term contracts, so which quality players will want to join Arsenal when our manager is only contracted for 18 months? Says Colin, our current league placing is about right until we have management clarity and a serious financial plan. A win will be a bonus tonight, says Colin. Going into a bit of detail. Here is Ozil. Now it's with Xhaka. Left-footed strike as Pelaqueta in the way. Now it's Alexis Sanchez's turn to chip it inside the box, but Thibaut Courtois is there. Etienne Gillan says this is so tense. It is tense, isn't it, in the minute?
Very.
Still surprised it's 0-0.
I think from the start of the game, it's been a couple of minutes for each side. There's sort of a little trade-off, isn't it? Chelsea will have a little bit of pressure. Arsenal have a little bit of pressure. They've both had really, really good chances. I think Morata would be most disappointed with his effort when he was 1v1 with Cech. But Arsenal finishing the stronger at the end of this first half.
Jack Wilshere on the halfway line. 5 minutes to go until the break. And here is Alexis Sanchez, just unable to get in. In fact, Christensen steps across and makes the interception. This is Fabregas. Now it's with Hazard over the halfway line coming forward. Morata's on the move. Bakayoko to his right. Here is Bakayoko. Now it's with Moses, right-hand side, up against Maitland-Niles. Still Moses looking for the movement of Hazard. Hazard gets there ahead of Maitland-Niles and nicks the ball off the Arsenal man and out for a corner.
He does, doesn't he? Good work from Maitland-Niles, though. He showed a good decision-making from a defensive point of view.
Short corner, Fabregas, right-hand side. Hazard inside the penalty area, looks to try and pull it back, but no one in blue can convert. And then Bakayoko brings down, is it holding on that far side? Can't quite see. And it will be a free kick to Arsenal, who have taken it quickly. This is Maitland-Niles on the left-hand side. Infield for Mesut Ozil. Ozil, central position. 4 minutes to go until half-time. Here is Alexis Sanchez. First touch is good. Second is better towards Ozil. No, just couldn't take it in his stride, and Chelsea will clear. This is Morata inside the centre circle, inside the Chelsea half. Now it's with Cesc Fabregas. Back for Marcos Alonso. First time for Morata. Morata with Chambers tight to him. Here is Marcos Alonso once again. Now it's with Christensen. He's been very steady at the back for Chelsea so far. Bakayoko on that right-hand side. He's had good opportunities in the opposing half, hasn't really shown what he can do just yet. Let's hope that stays the same. And now Fabregas calls it over towards Morata here, but Chambers watches that one well. And Xhaka has it for Arsenal, calls it back towards Hector Bellerin on the halfway line. Now it's with Jack Wilshere. Wilshere turns back for Callum Chambers. Two sides just cancelling each other out, David, at the minute.
Yeah, they're pretty much balanced the same as well. We've seen most of Chelsea's good work going down their left-hand side, most of ours going down that side. All the key players you expect to have done well have done well. And, you know, it's been an entertaining game. I mean, for the neutral, it's brilliant. It's only missing a goal at the moment, Dan.
Oh, meanwhile, Fabregas has caught Wilshere. That's a free kick. And I think that's a little bit of revenge for the challenge earlier. It's a yellow card here. Fabregas can't believe it. He's saying, what on earth is that for? Did it warrant a yellow? Let's have another look.
I don't know what the hand waving matters. It means he absolutely got to the ball first there. He has followed through and got Jack a little bit, just a tiny bit, but he's absolutely got the ball up. You know, I'm red through and through, but I don't think that's a yellow card. Yeah, you've got to be honest. I don't think that's a yellow card. Possibly a foul because it was an aggressive challenge. Yeah. That you can
a little bit out of control, maybe, even though he got the ball.
Yeah, you can be reprimanded for that, but that's not a yellow card. What you got to remember is you see it from the referee's angle and the position he's standing in. It's a low challenge. He's coming from behind. He might not have seen that contact, and it does look like a bad challenge.
Free kick taken then by Wilshere, just 10 yards inside the Chelsea half. Plays it left-hand side for Mesut Ozil. Now it's with Granit Xhaka, and eventually back for Holding. Maitland-Niles, who's done well in this first half. Alexis Sanchez. Maitland-Niles makes the move. The Chilean, though, is caught by Kante. Kante looks for Morata. Chelsea on the move here. Hazard wants it over on the left-hand side. Here is Eden Hazard. Can he get there ahead of the onrushing Chambers? Chambers gets there.
Oh, I was a bit worried. Chambers tracking him on the inside, and I know he's going to launch and try and make the tackle. And we've seen him miss a couple of them already and put Chelsea in, but he makes this one, and it's timed perfectly. Out for a Chelsea throw.
Fabregas to the byline, wins another corner here. Chelsea finishing the half with a flurry of corner kicks here. Haven't made one count just yet. Left-hand side once again, and it will be the right foot for Cesc Fabregas. Hazard is short if required. Spaniard's going to go more orthodox. In it comes, cleared away by Arsenal as far as Kante for Chelsea. Title winner last year and the year before, of course, with Leicester. Now it's with Hazard, left-hand side. Fabregas infield for Marcos Alonso. Alonso, left-hand side. He's got two Arsenal players around him. The ball goes out of play for another Chelsea throw, taken quickly down inside the penalty area, aimed towards Fabregas, but Lacazette is there helping to win it back, and now Mesut Ozil is on the move. Ozil has got Kante racing after him, Bakayoko as well. Kante, what a challenge, and suddenly Chelsea are on the move with Hazard, left-hand side, Morata calling for it. It's still Eden Hazard, moves from left to right, looks to try and tee up Fabregas, great football, poor shot, wide of the target, should have been a goal.
All of those things, Dan, great football, wide of the target, should have been a goal, but also amongst that, three really good bits of defending from the three central defenders. They blocked out and just held Hazard up long enough for it made it a difficult shot. You see them here, look, they all work together as a three, block him out. I think they've done just enough to buy enough time for that shot to be able to be put under a little bit of pressure.
That's right, actually, there was pressure on the ball. Maybe not as straightforward as I thought, but central position just outside, literally just outside the box. You always imagine that players are going to hit the target, but brilliantly teed up. But the Arsenal defence just keeping their shape when they were undermanned and under pressure, really.
Yeah, definitely. Bought a little bit of time, but you see at the one point when they all had to go and squeeze Eden Hazard, because he's so dangerous, they did. It will be easy just to stay on the floor after that, but then they're getting back up to try and make challenges against Cesc Fabregas and keep Chelsea out and hopefully take us into half-time at 0-0.
Looks increasingly likely. It will be all square and a stalemate at the break. Long pump forward by Courtois. Morata won't get to that. The referee intervenes. Referee's been good, I think, by and large. Arsenal had that penalty shout that correctly wasn't given. Big opportunity for Alexis, who hit the post, and it ricocheted between posts, in fact, before going into the arms of Thibaut Courtois. Mesut Ozil's had a snapshot. At the other end, David Morata as well has missed a glorious opportunity. Fabregas late on. I mean, I think the draw's about right, but probably not 0-0 about right.
Yeah. If it was 2-2, you'd be saying, yeah, it's been an end-to-end game. We can say all that, but just without the goals. Been really exciting, been some good chances. I think Arsenal's one that rolled along the line was unbelievable. The spin it had on it as well, it's gone across the line, spinning. It should have spun into the net, but it didn't. It stayed along the line, it hit the post and then came back out. You know, would have been great to get that in the bag, but at the moment, 0-0, can't believe it.
Let's hear from Nicole, who's going to tell you how to get in touch with your thoughts on today's first half.
Yep, 0-0, but a good performance from us so far, and I'm sure you guys have a lot to say. So get your tweets in now using the hashtag AFCVCFC, and I'll read some of them out later on in the show.
Many thanks, Nicole. We'll be back with Nicole very shortly indeed. We're going to take a half-time break. We've got Sammy Nelson coming pitchside with a bit of luck with Nigel. Always great to hear from a former Arsenal man, Northern Ireland international, of course. Ahead of that, though, we've got a quiz for you. The Arsenal boys taking a look back at 2017. Hang on, before we get to that, David, we're going to see average positions,
I think we're going to look at average positions. In a little while, once our producer gets that up.
We've got some Opta as well after Quiz of the Year 2017 with the Arsenal squad.
I have no idea why there was controversy at the Oscars.
I don't know. I didn't see. I don't watch that.
I think someone said something as a joke, maybe, and then it was the other one. Was it like that?
Somebody who won it shouldn't have won it.
They said somebody else's name, and it was the wrong one. I remember.
Oh, that's predictable. I should have said something like that. I don't look at stats like that, man.
I'm going to say 7.
5.
4.
7.
I think we had 6 shots on target.
We won the game. That's all that matters.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo, I would say.
Kim Kardashian.
Justin Bieber.
Ariana Grande.
I'm gonna say Beyonce.
Mate, I will fire.
Beyonce. Nice.
Isn't it? But I swear Ariana Grande has the most followers. I thought, oh, tactical, but
Oh, I'm not watching Game of Thrones, mate. I have no idea.
It's so awkward because I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran. I watched that episode. Come on, Game of Thrones gang.
Adele.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Vegas?
Las Vegas.
Yeah, you know I don't keep up with things like this. And it's also because I watched the fight.
The biggest box matches, where did it happen?
Yeah, but I'm not a boxing fan like that. I just watched it because I had to watch it.
Oh, Vegas.
Preston. It's got us back in it 1-1, and then we nicked it right at the end.
Oh. Preston.
Yeah,
That's in there.
Trying to count them now.
16.
16.
I'm going to go 10. I don't think it was that many.
10.
14.
I would go for 14.
Yes!
It was the East. I know it was the East.
Belgium?
Was it in Asia?
Brazil.
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 It was Brazil. Just playing with you there, you know that. Take you that side of the world and come back.
2017.
Stoke.
It wasn't, I don't think it was Stoke.
He scored against Stoke, but it was not his first goal.
Crystal Palace?
He didn't score against Crystal Palace, I think. Did he? No.
Oh, my head. I give up.
I would say Middlesbrough.
Palace.
West Ham.
Ah! West Ham. Ah!
Well, I think I've done all right. You know, pretty active in social media, so, you know, a few questions were from there, so it's easy peasy. Game of Thrones, easy. So, you know, let's see who's the next one to beat me. Probably anyone, but...
16 years. I tell you what, it's a good job that the footballers aren't there because they don't know anything else. We're going to go pitch side. Nigel speaking to Sammy Nelson.
Yeah, that was in the FA Youth Cup. It was the first time Arsenal had won the Youth Cup, and it was really a legacy laid down for the 71 team. One of my other teammates, Pat Rice, was right back that night, and I was playing outside left. And another good mate of mine, Roger Davidson, is here tonight. He was also part of the team.
Now, when you arrived at Arsenal, you were known for playing in one position, and you became famous for playing in another position, didn't you? So tell us how that move came about and who was instrumental in that.
Well, that was down to my coach, Don Howe. We had a testimonial game, and the regular left back got injured, and he asked me to move to left back just temporarily. And again, that lasted another 15 years. So it was really good.
And working with Don must have been amazing.
Oh, he was a gentleman. He's so well respected by everybody, and so many players owe their career to Don. He was absolutely brilliant and very supportive. And besides being tough and can be harsh on the training ground, he had a great sense of humour.
You played in 3 consecutive FA Cup finals. We'll gloss over 2 of them, Sammy, but we'll mention possibly one of the most famous cup finals of all time. Tell us what it was like to play in this 1979 classic. Well, have a look at the Arsenal goals here, and you can talk us through your memories of this.
Well, from where I was, we were totally on top, and at some stage there, I thought we should have been at least 3, maybe 4-0 up. But as you know, what went on in the second half, particularly in the last few minutes, was a bit soul-destroying. But when Frank Stapleton made it 2-0, I thought that was it overnight. But we continued to play really good football, as I say, up until those last couple of minutes.
Now, we can't see it there, but that's the famous goal, of course. But you started the move that led to that goal, didn't you?
It did. I think everybody expected me to pass the ball back to the goalkeeper. And in the end, we just played a move that we've practiced time and time again with Don Howe. And it was just a simple ball up to Frank Stapleton. He chested it down to Liam Brady, who moved forward and then attacked the right back, laid it out to Graham Rix, and Rixie crossed it and beat Gary Bailey with the cross, and Alan Sunderland just finished lovely.
Very good. It's a great final, wasn't it? Is that your favourite memory in an Arsenal shirt, that final?
Oh, absolutely. I think when I went to the Cup final in May against Chelsea, and Aaron Ramsey scored the winning goal, the noise was phenomenal. And I thought, I wonder what it was like. As a player, you don't really hear the noise. And when we scored that 3rd goal, the place must have erupted. But
yeah, absolutely fantastic. What's your favourite Wembley memory? You had a few great Highbury memories down the years, one of which involves our friends in the North Bank. Now, obviously, the North Bank here at Emirates, slightly different to the one at Highbury, but tell us about that famous incident involving Coventry City and yourself and the North Bank. For those who haven't heard this story, it's a classic. What happened?
Well, we had a rearranged league match against Coventry on the Tuesday night. We had just beaten Wolves 2-0 in the semi-final on the Saturday of the FA Cup. And the boys are a bit jaded, but we were losing 1-0 at half-time. The press put it down that it was a known goal by me, but I can assure you it wasn't. Anyway, second half, we've attacked the North Bank, and all those fantastic supporters in the North Bank really cheered us on. And I had a little pass back from Graham Rix and hit it from about 25 yards into the top corner of the net. And I just kept running round the goals to the North Bank. And then I did a little samba and then bent over and pulled my shorts down. But my pants were underneath, so I didn't show anything. That was really rude. But it didn't go down too well with the FA.
It didn't, did it? No. Got a few cheers here tonight, though. Obviously, some people were there from back in the day. Listen, Sammy, we've got to leave it there, unfortunately, but just tell us what you're up to nowadays.
Well, I'm sort of retired anyway. I'm still doing a bit of networking for a financial company, but playing more golf and a bit of racquetball, and obviously family life with grandchildren. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
and we get to see you at the Emirates now and again as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, listen, thanks very much for coming to share your memories with us this evening. Always great to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, one of our greatest gunners. There he is, Arsenal legend Sammy Nelson. Thank you, Sammy. Happy New Year. Thank you.
They do not make them like Sammy anymore, do they, David? No doubt about it. He's great fun, isn't he?
Yeah, great fun. I mean, you don't get characters in a game like that anymore, and just that incident of him saying pulling his shorts down, it's brilliant. And they're the things that people do remember, don't they? They remember great goals and things like that.
We're gonna take some Opta analysis next up. What we're going to look at first? So we've got a couple of things, haven't we, Tom?
Yeah, what we're going to look at is the attacking third for both sides, and it's interesting. We're on the side where Chelsea are attacking on the left, and you can see 49%. That's Alonso, and he's keeping Hector Bellerin pinned right back on that side. Bellerin not being able to get forward at all. But on Arsenal's left-hand side, it's the exact same story. Although it's not...
And you don't see figures like this that often, do you?
But for Arsenal, it's not Ainsley Maitland-Niles who's making all of that progression up the left-hand side. It is purely Alexis and Ozil working that channel together. All of our opportunities have come from there in the first half. What we're going to do is move that on to a heat map, just so we can, so an average position map, so we can see how that relates to the players on the pitch. And if you just look at them, both left-hand sides of the pitch, look at the pressure on there. You know, you've got 15. Victor Moses hasn't really going over the halfway line because he can't go and attack that side.
And look at
always
three,
on the left.
And look at 3, which is Alonso, and he's the left wing back.
You look at Arsenal.
Very, very different.
Mesut Ozil, Alexis Sanchez.
Ozil, yeah, number 11.
And to be fair, Ainsley Maitland-Niles in good support, but it's interesting how both sides are attacking down their left-hand channels. You simply, when you attack down one side of the pitch, that shows good team management, because when you attack down one side, you have to compensate and tuck round on the opposite side, and it shows you both clubs, although wanting to go forward, are very wary and being careful at the back, keeping enough defenders tucked around.
Good stuff. Let's hear from Nicole, because Twitter has been busy. It's a tight and tense first half, 0-0. What have those on social media made of it, Nicole?
Yep, we've had loads of tweets and lots of positivity so far. So 1J Tag says, boy, what a difference King Ozil makes in this Gunners army. Daniel 13 says, I'm not going to have any fingernails left at this rate at half-time, sensing a cheeky 1-0. Pixelated Pike says, Ainsley Maitland-Niles is one hell of a cool customer. If he was a house, he'd be an igloo. Good one. And the final whistle says, Lacazette's movement and pressing has been so much better today. Keep those tweets coming in using the hashtag AFCVCFC, and you can send your emails in to dan@studio@arsenal.co.uk.
First one there, because he does make a difference, Mesut Ozil. There's no doubt about that. And look, over the years as Arsenal, every now and then, when Arsenal have a dip and the press get on his back, but I'll tell you what, when you see him play, and as that tweeter suggested, he missed him against West Brom. He was excellent against Crystal Palace, and he's been involved with everything, hasn't he, going forward with Alexis Sanchez tonight for Arsenal.
Yeah, and the thing is, because Chelsea are a team that want to play expansive football, they can't afford to solely put one player on him. So he is going to find positions and take up good spaces and cause Chelsea problems. And what that does is, as a midfield player playing against him, you start worrying about him even when he's not involved in play. So he'll be 30 yards to your right-hand side, but you'll be going, I don't know if I can go there. Where's Ozil? I just want to check that first, because he's done a couple of things good before that. So he affects you when he's got the ball and when he's not got the ball. And when he's in this mood, he is the only one. Well, him and Alexis are the ones that are going to open up Chelsea for Arsenal tonight, I'm sure of that.
Chelsea just coming back onto the pitch. We had a lot of emailers in the first half asking about transfer windows and so on and so forth, and whether we want anyone to come in or in any position. What's your take on it? We're still waiting for Arsenal to come out here, so we've got a minute or so.
I think every transfer window, every manager in every team, regardless of how much finance they got available, should be looking for 3 players, a midfielder, a defender and a forward, to put pressure on or to play in the side. But you've got to keep updating that squad, because if you go 2 or 3 years without doing it, you end up with an old squad who can't compete anymore, and you've missed out on too many of the young players. And there's loads of players out there, so I'd have one for each position in every transfer window.
Good stuff. The Arsenal personnel are just coming out onto the pitch. Lots of emails in as well. Malila Tariq's been back on, says entertaining first half, hoping to continue this in the second, along with a goal from Mesut Ozil or from Alexis Sanchez. And Jean says Arsenal doing okay. If only they could put the ball in the back of the net. Callum Chambers needs to wake up. Jack needs to up the gears in the second half, says Jean. And Jesvin Neleseri says, hi guys, happy new year to you, and thanks again for the commentary. We've looked lively in the first half. The creativity of Ozil sorely missed against West Brom, and it's great to see him back in the team, hoping for a 2-0 win and hoping that Petr Cech gets his 200th clean sheet. We're hoping that the boys can flick our monitor back on for any replays as well, so thanks for that, guys, in the gallery. We're underway for the second half as Kante gets a first touch from Fabregas, and they play it back towards Christensen, who's been steady, very steady for Chelsea at the back. If you are watching on Facebook Live, and I know a lot of you do, at half-time, if you want to continue listening into the commentary, and you'll still get a good 30 seconds of it into this second half, but if you want to continue, head to arsenal.com. I'm sure you've registered. If you're not, only takes you a minute. You get full live commentary of every game for free. Find the Arsenal player tab. It'll be on the front page anyway, because we're on at the moment. Or you can download the Arsenal app. And again, I know plenty will have it already, and all of the live commentary from every single game, every competition can be heard on that as well. But we thank you for joining on Facebook Live nonetheless. Long punt forward by Christensen, looking for Moses here, but the flag is up. Do we expect the second half to be as the first was, David?
Yeah, I think it will be quite open at times, but we're finding when either team gets around each other's penalty box, it's close ranks, shut up shop, be really tight, try not to make mistakes. So there's not many chances being taken around the penalty area. But I certainly think one goal and this game opens right up, whoever scores it.
No goals after 45 minutes, make that 46 and a bit minutes. We are underway. This is Kale under pressure from Alexis Sanchez. He's going to have to find a teammate. He does in the shape of Kante. They've played it well, Chelsea. Fabregas looking for Alonso, who darts away from Hector Bellerin, plays the ball infield for Eden Hazard. Hazard on the halfway line. Arsenal getting players back behind the ball. Hazard still coming up against Wilshere, still racing forward, edge of the penalty area. Looks to lay it off for Alonso. Two inside the box. Low ball in, but it's cleared away by Callum Chambers. Hector Bellerin got done far too easily there for me.
Yeah, he got really way too tight to Alonso, didn't he? But also got drawn in on Alonso's left-hand side. So Alonso just lets the ball run between him and the line, and Bellerin can't make a challenge, and he's away.
One of our tweeters talks about Lacazette's industry and energy. He's done really well to win it back there for Arsenal, and then the teammate, can't quite see who, unfortunately gives it away, and Chelsea have got a throw.
Yeah, Mesut Ozil there with a loose touch.
Ethan's been on, says we need to go crazy. Simple as that. Luke's been back on, says great first half from the Gunners, but still very tight game. Maybe there will be a chance for Walcott or Welbeck to grab a goal from the bench, but I think Arsenal will have the edge in this one. Luke is pretty confident. Brian says hoping for a 1-0 Gunners victory. From the Golden State, Brian from San Francisco. Here is Ainsley Maitland-Niles for the Gunners on the halfway line. Plays the ball in field for Mesut Ozil, who taps it back for Holding. Holding back to the German playmaker. Now it's with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Tries to knock it down the line for Alexis Sanchez. Moses is there, and he's strong in possession. Gets away from Maitland-Niles. Now it's with Morata. Turns away from Holding. Caught by Holding. Free kick.
Yeah, it's a free kick. He's caught Morata. I think that could possibly have been a booking, but he's got away with it, Holding. He was in sharp. Morata's received the ball, turned inside with his right foot. Gets caught as Holding goes across the back of him.
Here is Christensen. Now it's with Alonso over on that left-hand side. Francis Fabregas, I beg your pardon, knocks it up towards Morata. Just on Alonso, I mean, you know, you mentioned it at half-time. He's played so far high up, doesn't he, on that left-hand side?
They are playing high up, though. Conte is pushing them up. You've got Moses and Alonso are as high at times as Morata and Hazard. They almost leave the whole centre of the pitch empty and just leave Conte in there.
Oh, this is Hazard breaking forward, edge of the penalty area, still going, gets the shot off, great save, Petr Cech. Follower from Bakayoko inside the area, looking for Alonso with a header. Oh, another good save from Petr Cech, and out for a corner, brilliant.
Yeah, two great attacks from Chelsea. First of all, Hazard finding himself in. It's a really good pass. Slide rule in.
And he comes again, and this time the shot from Bakayoko is wide of the target.
Yeah, it's a really good pass for Hazard. Puts him on the right-hand side of the box. He shoots a cross check. Check saving with his feet. We're just seeing it again on the monitor. Lets the ball run across him, right-hand side of the box. Checks down, saves with his feet, gets back up. Ball goes to the far post. It's a good header down into the ground from Alonso.
Save, isn't it?
Down to Czech's left, yeah, and just pushes it round the post. 2 saves in a minute from Czech.
Chambers. Now it's with Xhaka. Left-hand side is Mesut Ozil. Ozil turns away from Bakayoko and looks to find Holding. Xhaka. There is the Swiss once again over the halfway line, right-hand side. Left-footed, crossfield, diagonal, looking to hit Maitland-Niles. That's a brilliant ball. Maitland-Niles, left-hand side, 10 yards away from the byline. Skips away from Moses, looks to cut it towards the far post, and the header is wide. Always back on his heels there, unfortunately, Alexis Sanchez. But great ball from Xhaka, good ball in from Maitland-Niles.
Yeah, great ball from Xhaka on the right-hand side of the halfway line. He pings it 55, 60 yards to Maitland-Niles on the left. Does well, doesn't he? Cuts back inside, and I think Alexis is just a little bit too early in position at the far post, and it's a standing jump. He can't generate no power, can he? Just in there a bit too early.
Jans Bidon, Jan Magnus says, I think Arsenal, first of all, should strengthen the defence, because if we're unlucky with some old open goal chances, we're weak at the back four, especially with Koscielny out. That will cost us too many points in this season. Got one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Let's hope we can win the game, move closer to 4th place. Chelsea coming forward, right-hand side. Moses, angle of the box, looking to try and take on Maitland-Niles, takes a deflection into the arms of Petr Cech. And Matt says, great to see Ainsley Maitland-Niles getting a run out in the league again with both Ozil and Wilshere playing. Great chance for Sanchez and Lacazette to get on the score sheet. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. Alexis to score the winner from an Ozil assist. Who else, after all? Matt says, come on, you Gunners. Jack Wilshere has it for Arsenal. Central position. Granit Xhaka. Wilshere once again through, looking for Ozil. Now it's with Alexis. Lacazette. Lacazette inside the area. Must score. Great save from Courtois. Oh dear, what an opportunity. One-on-one from 6 yards out. He's got to score.
It's the build-up play before it, though. Wilshere, Ozil, Sanchez, Lacazette gets lucky on the turn, but he finds himself one-on-one with a keeper. I just think the space between them, there isn't a lot of it. Yeah, just too close.
Xhaka, 25 yards out. Referee gets in the way, and it's cleared by Kante. Anthony Taylor doing a job for the Blues, and it's gone towards Eden Hazard. Hazard up against Wilshere, plays a short ball for Fabregas. Fabregas comes it over to the left-hand side. Alonso coming forwards here. Alonso, he's got help on the left flank through Morata. Hazard wants it inside the penalty area. Morata turns and just get the cross in. It's for Hazard on the volley, saved by Cech. It ricochets around. It's Alonso who's there, and he fouls the Arsenal keeper, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal, but it's going to be a yellow card to Rob Holding for a challenge in the build-up, I think.
Yeah, I think Rob Holding had a little dive in on the build-up. We just see it there on Fabregas.
Clatters into Fabregas, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I think it didn't help. As soon as he done it, he told Fabregas to get up as if he hadn't done anything. But Chelsea on the back of that, you know, broke forward. Little chance for Hazard. I think the ball was in the air a long time, wasn't it? We're just looking at the Arsenal chance again. Lacazette, for me, a little bit more composure there. And you see forwards just poke it through the goalkeeper's legs there.
Big chance again. Not taken. This is Holding. Coming forward now for the Gunners. For Xhaka. Alexis Sanchez. Back towards Jack Wilshere. Wilshere on the halfway line. He's got options here. One of them is Chambers, through towards Lacazette inside the penalty area. Lacazette gets to the byline, looks to pull it back, but too many Chelsea players there.
Yeah, he's on his own, isn't he? They broke so quick that time. Couldn't get no support up to Sanchez. But the game is just end-to-end, isn't it? It's swung Arsenal's way for the last couple of minutes after 3 or 4 minutes of Chelsea pressure.
And he's bailed in. Now it's with Chambers. And eventually Xhaka forward for Maitland-Niles. Tries to lay it off for Wilshere. Cleared away, though, by Chelsea. Hector Bellerin once again, all the way back to Shkodran Mustafi. Mustafi to this near side, and Rob Holding. holding for Xhaka. Xhaka looks for the movement of Ozil as Azpilicueta gets there. The ball ricochets to Lacazette. Now it's with Wilshere brought down on the edge of the area. No, says the referee. It was Marcos Alonso with a challenge, I think. Well, it's a long way from where we are, but it looked like a free kick. It was a yard outside the box.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that again, but I'll tell you my thoughts on it. I think he didn't give the handball just before that, and he felt a bit guilty, so he hasn't given the free kick for Arsenal.
What, the handball off Lacazette?
Yeah, I think it's a little repayment of a debt. I think Lacazette did handle it, and Arsenal got away with it, and he's paid it back obviously by letting them get away with that and not giving a foul on Jack.
Mustafi looking to try and get Hector Bellerin on the right-hand side, but a touch from Marcos Alonso, and the ball goes out of play for a corner to Arsenal.
He does well, Alonso, because he has spent most of the half in Arsenal's half, and then he gets back to defend. No, I think
it's a good decision from the referee. Christensen, actually, wasn't it, on Wilshere?
It's a good decision. We're watching it again. His foot's there.
It's not a foul.
It's not a foul.
In comes the corner. He's towards Mustafi. It's cleared away once again by Chelsea. Arsenal going to have another go.
Looks like Zappacosta's going to come on for Chelsea.
That's an interesting move. Does this mean that Victor Moses is coming off? Yeah, well, like for like, but I all think that Zappacosta is more of a defender than an attacking defender, if you're a wing-back. Zappacosta is coming on. Whether he's going to get forward to the same sort of effect of Moses, I don't know. Moses seems okay.
Yeah, I think the game's balanced as it was in the first half. Most of the attacking seems to be down each of the team's left-hand side.
Zappacosta can deliver across. We've seen that in his Premier League days. Here is Jack Wilshere. Now it's with Granit Xhaka. Ainsley Maitland-Niles wants it. Zappacosta's got some defensive work to do. Xhaka to the byline, looks to try and take it beyond the Chelsea back line. And, well, Chelsea win a goal kick there. I thought that came off Azpilicueta, but it must have ricocheted back off Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, Xhaka knows that. He's just got a little wry smile on his face. We've had a couple of them tonight. The defender looks like he's done the right thing. Played it off of the opposite player, but it comes back off him. There's that possible foul on Jack. Christensen doesn't foul him. His foot goes down to the ground, and for my money, Jack just goes to plant his foot near Christensen's and goes over it. Good decision by Anthony Taylor.
You've got most things right, I think, so far in this game. Kante coming forward for Chelsea over the halfway line, pushes it forward for Eden Hazard. Hazard moves away from Mustafi. Mustafi with a poor-looking challenge has brought Hazard down. Doesn't get a yellow card for it, but it was awkward from the German.
It is awkward, and I've got to be honest, it's very similar to the Fabregas challenge. What Fabregas got booked for when he won the ball cleanly against Jack.
This is Kante from distance, ricochets up. It's going to spin towards Alonso on the left-hand side. He will get the cross in, and Cech is backpedaling, punches away. Bakayoko ends up on the deck. Zappacosta will recover, and he will play it back here towards Azpilicueta, who in turn feeds it for Christensen. Christensen forwards here for Kante. Kante will curl it to the near side. That's a poor ball from the Chelsea midfielder.
Yep, he just curled it off the pitch, didn't he? He just scooped it. Just looking at this chance for Bakayoko. Alonso looping the ball in. Petr Cech backing off in his 6-yard box. Does well, doesn't he?
Long punt forward. Christensen looking for Morata, who battles well, but the flag is up on this near side. I could only presume for a foul, because I don't think he was offside. How on earth could he be offside for that? The assistant said offside.
I think he's come from an offside position.
Yeah, but about half an hour ago.
Yeah, well, but he's come from behind. I think they seem to wait until they get it under complete control. You know, it started off by a movement towards the ball, didn't it?
It's the next phase of play, isn't it?
Well, it originally became, if you move towards the ball, you're affecting play, you're becoming involved.
You know, it's a rubbish.
It just changes all the time.
Let's see what Arsenal can do here. 31.5 minutes remaining at the Emirates, no goals. Arsenal more than matching Chelsea. Chances at both ends, even in this second half. Plenty in the first period as well. Remarkable that we haven't had a goal. As the game goes on, you just wonder if coaches will get a little more cautious. I don't think Arsene Wenger will, but Antonio Conte might.
Yeah, I think so. I think Conte will, if he gets a draw, that's fine with him. His team have played well enough. You know, they've not been smashed, but I think Arsene Wenger will be looking for the points from this one.
Arsenal coming forward here. Hector Bellerin looking to burst through, the ball out for a corner. Yeah, 2 points behind Manchester United in third, Chelsea. Arsenal, of course, in 6th on 38 points, 2 behind Spurs. A win would see us jump up to 5th place. Spurs play tomorrow, of course, home to West Ham. Corner right-hand side for the Gunners. And it comes floated in. It's towards Callum Chambers. It ricochets around, and then it's cleared away by Chelsea. And it's gone towards Eden Hazard. Zappacosta's on the move in an advanced position, but Maitland-Niles wins it back, and then Alexis finds Lacazette. Back towards Alexis, left-hand side, stretches to keep it in play, wins a corner. Maitland-Niles has played really well.
He has, hasn't he? And what he's done well is he's closed all spaces down. He's not let people have the room to attack him. Here we see him, he's really, really tight to Hazard there, and he manages to force the mistake.
Comes the corner cleared away, and then Alexis Sanchez will get another go, drilled in towards the far post this time. Chambers is waiting, so he's Mustafi. Mindful for Ozil, it's cleared away again, only as far as Wilshere. Bit of panic in that Chelsea defence all of a sudden. Alexis Sanchez, angle of the box, looks to curl it inside the penalty area. Mindful for the right-hand side here. Chambers can bring it down, drives it forward. Mindful for Ozil to get the shot away. He's put it in the net, but it doesn't matter because the referee has halted play.
I think he's initially halted it for, is it Chambers on the far post when Alexis puts that ball across. We all thought it was a cross, but I believe Alexis was playing this. He's eyeing up the far post. He's not offside. Is he giving it on?
I've no idea what he's given that for, and I don't think the referee knows.
Absolutely no idea what that's given for. There was definitely no one offside. I just wonder whether he maybe took it with his hand as he controlled it.
Possibly.
As he's knocked it down, but too far away from here to see. He's not made any real bad decisions, Taylor, from him.
Long punt forward by Thibaut Courtois. Here is Morata. Now it's with Marcos Alonso. Arsenal win it back through Xhaka, who's had an industrious and productive evening so far. In terms of work rate, certainly he's been everywhere, and his passing has been good by and large. Here he is again, looks for Chambers, now it's with Hector Bellerin on the right-hand side. Arsenal coming forward, slides it through towards Alexis Sanchez, but Courtois has got the move.
Sanchez with his hand up, yeah, acknowledging the look and the pass from Bellerin. I think that's what Arsenal have got to do. They've got to try and play them defence-splitting passes to try and open Chelsea up.
Great layoff from Morata, looking for Bakayoko, who gives it away, holding in the right place at the right time. Feeds Jack Wilshere. Wilshere over the top, looks for Lacazette, controls, but then Azpilicueta helps out. Now she's Mesut Ozil, back towards Lacazette. Ozil inside the box, still going forward. Oh, and he can't find Alexis Sanchez. It's cleared away from inside the 6-yard box. Ainsley Maitland-Niles still on the attack. Twists, gets to the byline. Can he get the cross in? Wins a corner.
Yeah, good play from Maitland-Niles to force the corner, but Ozil, Lacazette. Oh, it's dreamy, isn't it? And Sanchez nearly linking together. Ozil cleaning 1v1, tries to cut it back to Sanchez, but Chelsea able to get it away.
Short corner, Ozil for Xhaka, back towards Ozil. Xhaka once again, left-hand side, short ball for Wilshere, central position, plays it back towards Ozil, one-on-one with Fabregas, still has possession. The German cuts inside, right-footed to the edge of the area, holding, snaps it back. Might fall for Wilshere!
Oh, it's in! Oh, it's in!
How about that?
It's in,
the
Jack!
corner. Jack Wilshere has given Arsenal the lead here. Terrific strike, worked brilliantly by the Gunners, and Chelsea do not escape this time. It is Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0.
Oh, it's a great strike. It's off the post from Wilshere. It's no more than they deserve for this 4 or 5 minutes of pressure they put Chelsea under. It was going to take something special to break this deadlock. Jack Wilshere's got it. He deserves it. Ozil involved again in the play. Jack getting the ball first of all, left-hand side, out to Ozil, who's wide on the touchline. Ozil comes back inside. It's a first-time pass, looks like from Holding.
Was Holding.
And oh, I don't think Jack's really expecting it to get through all these players. Takes a ricochet off of Morata, goes to Jack Wilshere, who's in the corner of the 6-yard box, drives it into the top corner. Bit like I did out in Thailand, Dan.
First goal in the Premier League since scoring against West Brom, May 2015. Long time between drinks for Jack, but I'm sure that everyone will be celebrating if it stays as it is.
That's nothing like my goal. Mine didn't touch the post. Mine went clean into the top corner. Great finish from Jack, though. 1-0 to Arsenal. What a game we've got on our hands now.
Arsenal have the advantage. Mesut Ozil coming forward. Alexis Sanchez has it right-hand side, inside the penalty area. Might be another here. It's Lacazette. Can he pull the trigger? No, Oh, and it's wide of the target. Must have took a deflection. Not quite sure if it was Courtois or a defender that got in the way
I think it might be Courtois who's got the last touch. Arsenal breaking at will. Mesut Ozil finding Sanchez, who unselfishly goes inside. It's a deflection and a save.
Tell you what, it's a really good stop from Courtois there, because he took a deflection first and foremost.
That's going in off the inside of the post as well, if Courtois doesn't get his left hand to that.
Arsenal have got a corner right-hand side. Gunners fans, you can hear all around Emirates at the moment. They lead by a goal to nil. Corner, left-footed. Mesut Ozil gets ready to take. Curled towards Lacazette, who can control, and then forced outside the area. Let's see what Arsenal can do here. Still, Alexis spins away on that right-hand side, drives to the byline, wins another corner. Does he? No, goal kick. Mark from Malmo says, greetings from Malmo, no amount of moaning about the referee can decide that if we'd played like this against West Brom, would have been out of sight long before the penalty. Looking at the table and the way teams are around us performing, Arsenal have got nothing to lose, need to play every game that way. Loving the exciting commentary. It's like being a kid again back to someone else's day with Mahir's glued to the radio. That's Mark from Malmo, just before the goal scored. And Peter Febra, this says, hi guys, thanks for the commentary. Really prefer these days over the TV broadcast. As a 67-year-old who was born and bred in Muswell Hill, North London, now retired and living in Malmo. I don't know if you know Mark from Malmo, do you, Peter? With over 50 years supporting the Arsenal. Last few seasons remind me of the frustrating but entertaining times of the 60s and 70s. You're not missing anything because the ball's out of play at the moment. But yeah, Peter gives us a trip down memory lane. Glad that you're joining us, Peter from Malmo. Chelsea come forward now from the restart, left-hand side. Hazard has possession inside the penalty area, looks to take on Chambers, gets to the byline, looks to try and pull it back. Still has a go here, brought down. The referee points to the spot.
No way!
Penalty. No way, says David Hillier. Yes, says Anthony Taylor. Arsenal players can't believe it. Chelsea fans celebrate on the right-hand side. It has not been converted yet, and we're going to have a look at this one, David, on the monitor.
Oh, we're going to have to.
Arsene Wenger's going to go nuts.
At the worst, it's a toe poke. Surely not. Arsenal getting punished for anything in the penalty area. Yes, Hazard's twisting and turning. He's faced Bellerin right up.
Oh, Bellerin's caught him, but it's hardly anything. But he has caught him.
Bellerin's kicked, just caught the inside on the bottom of his foot. I don't think it's even stopped Hazard in any way from doing anything, but he's decided he doesn't want to move on, holds his foot, ends up with a penalty. Can put Chelsea back on even terms with Arsenal.
Hazard up against Cech. Cech's not saving, of course, in open play since moving from Chelsea to Arsenal. Can he do it now? No, he can't. It's 1-1.
I'll tell you what, Dan, for me, that's less of a penalty than the West Brom one. Because as a defender, you can have a little nibble. He's only touched his foot. That's not hurt Hazard. It wouldn't have even moved him off the path he was taking. But he's decided to hold his foot. He's sucked Anthony Taylor in.
Do you know what? I completely agree with you, because look, you know, you've played. Sometimes there is a coming together of two players going for the ball.
That's a tiny bit of contact. Look.
They're both going for the ball. They're both going for the ball. It's not a foul, and he has caught him, but it's not a penalty.
No,
look, I think we were pretty honest about the West Brom one. When I called it up, the Hawthorns, I thought it probably was. But
looking at that again,
I can't believe that.
Hazard has got every opportunity to carry on running and not go down to ground after that.
It's not a penalty.
As soon as he gets touched, he's hit the floor.
It's not a penalty. Chelsea coming forward. Morata looks to scoop it into the pass of Hazard, but it goes out of play. It's just not a penalty. It's two players going for the ball. OK, sometimes you get that. You can be outside the box, can be anywhere, and there's just contact. It's a physical game. And
absolutely.
As you say, he's got there slightly late, but he's not brought him down.
No, he's not moved him. He's not moved him at all off of... Hazard could have done exactly what he wanted to do. He could have still got on the ball. It's just... Yeah, that's a poor decision.
It is 1-1, and Arsenal have got to do it all again. We've got 22 minutes remaining here. There is time for Arsenal to do it all again and nudge back in front. Fabregas on the left-hand side for Chelsea. Luke says superb performance from Maitland-Niles, incidentally, as Bakayoko looks to get forward inside the area. Good challenge from Maitland-Niles. Brilliant. Because Holding let him go.
Right, to me, that's offside. Morata is offside when that ball's played through. He's drifted towards the ball but not touched it, and he's got within 2 yards of it. And as he does, he takes up positions and he makes defenders change their position. Bakayoko just runs in and steals it. That's got to be offside.
Hazard over the halfway line. Morata to his left-hand side. Zappacosta is making up ground, but good interception from Chambers, and Arsenal have it back.
Jack Wilshere just noticed in the middle of the pitch he's limping a little bit.
He is struggling.
He is struggling a little bit. You know with Jack that he won't stop running. He'll keep trying, but he's definitely aggravated something now.
Alexis looking to burst through, but Zappacosta should clear here for Chelsea over on that right-hand side. Up against the Maitland-Niles, who has had an outstanding game. Luke says super performance from Maitland-Niles. He's proving they're building a good squad. It's not all about who you buy, but about who the players you bring in from the academy. Great goal from Wilshere. Now let's see this game out. Well, unfortunately not, as Morata looks to get forward. He's away from Mustafi. Still going forward, looks to pull the trigger. Wide again from Morata. Two big chances. It was Chambers, in fact, who was trying to get him off the ball. But Morata, having done the physical part for me, couldn't do the composure in the end.
Yeah, that all started from Mustafi taking Rob Holding's man, making a challenge, being out of position. Callum Chambers has then had to pick up Morata, who's ready to run straight down the middle of the pitch. He's not gifted with the most pace, Chambers, but he's done superb to stay by the side of Morata and put him under pressure. Substitution for Chelsea, Dan.
Cesc Fabregas, who hasn't been as good in this second half, the game's passed him by a little bit, is coming off, and the player who is coming on is Danny Drinkwater, who's not played that often. Interesting that a lot of Arsenal supporters are giving Cesc Fabregas a round of applause. He 1 or 2 boos, but I've seen him booed out of town here before.
Oh yeah, I don't think
time a great healer.
Yeah, I think it is, and you know, people appreciate what you've done when you've left here. Don't worry about that. It just sometimes it takes a few years to sink in. Yeah, and I'm sure he comes back in here in 10 years, there won't be no boos. It's only because he's got a blue shirt on.
Absolutely.
That's the only reason. But he was a great servant of the club, fantastic footballer, and it will be in Arsenal's history for absolutely ever.
Yes, he will, no doubt about that. This is Jack Wilshere, who's sort of shrugged off any injury issue, but he was limping before. He breaks forward over on that right-hand side. He's got Hector Bellerin for company. Now it's with Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil looks here for Granit Xhaka. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez back inside the box, but the ball bounces out of play. That's a poor ball, really.
Yeah, he's trying to find Mesut Ozil again, isn't he? When they've come together on this left-hand side, they've looked dangerous, but in spells, they've been on either sides of the pitch. There've been big distances between them, so they need to just get a little bit closer, because those two, along with Lacazette, are dangerous on the break for Arsenal.
18.5 minutes remaining. Studio@arsenal.co.uk if you want to get your thoughts in as the game goes into its final stages here. 1 apiece. Hazard from the spot, beating Petr Cech after he was brought down by Bellerin. Wilshere opening the scoring for Arsenal. First goal in the Premier League for the Gunners since May 2015. First home game of 2018. Kante breaking forward, Bakayoko to his right. Kante looks here to the right-hand side, and Zappacosta knocks it back here. Bakayoko, Kante with a shot, takes a deflection, spins wide, thankfully. Corner.
Yeah, nice bit of possession from Chelsea. Worked the ball neatly from the left-hand side into Kante, who gets it out to the right to Zappacosta. Back into Bakayoko, and Kante with it. Yeah, it's dangerous, those ones that go spinning off a defender. They can always curl around the keeper. This one goes out for a corner for Chelsea.
Hazard will take over on the left-hand side, right-footed in-swinger towards that near post, cleared away by Maitland-Niles. Brian says, give Hazard an Oscar for the cheap goal. We will get the real thing. Oh, goodness. Brian has emailed in. Brian Jeffers. Chelsea once again have it. Kante looking here for Zappacosta, takes it down inside the box, rattles the cross in, but nobody there in Chelsea colours, cleared by Xhaka, only as far as Azpilicueta. Now it's with Alonso, and then Lacazette jumping, looking to win it back. Oh, he's crunched into Cahill. That's going to be a free kick, and it's going to be a yellow card as well, I think.
I think he possibly could. He might get away with it because he's a forward. I think he is. Yeah, I mean, you see a challenge like that, that is a poor challenge. It's a bit loose, and it does make you feel slightly uncomfortable, doesn't it? You think that someone could have got hurt. He's coming from the back side into Cahill. And then you look at the penalty. The penalty isn't even a foul. It is, as you said, just a coming together where...
Two players going for the ball happens all the time.
It is 1/100th of a second out.
In comes the free kick. It's towards the back post. It might fall for Cahill. They're claiming handball in the Chelsea corner on the far side. Referee doesn't respond to that. It's cleared by Arsenal. There's Azpilicueta. Now it's with Hazard once again. His movement is great, isn't it, on the ball? He's a fantastic player to watch, apart from the fact that he dives.
It's his change of direction,
Yeah,
and people just can't get near enough to him to affect his play. Trouble is, in the box, he lets you get near him, so that he wants you to touch him. But that's a poor decision, and Arsenal have paid the price for it. 2 games in a row now.
Zappacosta, Morata up against Mustafi, aims it all the way back towards Petr Cech, though, does the German. Charlie says, can't believe we haven't managed to edge in front. Come on, let's get a last-minute winner. That's Charlie Beattie, who's emailed in. Ethan says, I'm on the edge of my seat listening to this match up like Alexa Echo. Happy New Year to everyone, Ethan, who's emailed in. Arsenal coming forward, Lacazette over on the right-hand side. And then Christensen across, and the ball goes out of play for an Arsenal throw, level with a 6-yard box, right-hand flag down by the corner flag. This is Wilshere, Arsenal's goal scorer. Back over to that right-hand side, and Mesut Ozil on his left foot will curl it back towards Rob Holding. Now it's with Granit Xhaka. Xhaka for Maitland-Niles. Maitland-Niles looks for Alexis Sanchez. Back towards Maitland-Niles, edge of the penalty area. Kante is there. Now it's with Bakayoko and Hazard, but Bellerin slides in. This is Xhaka. Maitland-Niles. Wilshere chips it over to the right-hand side. Bellerin takes it down, controls. Finds Mesut Ozil, right-hand flank, looking for Lacazette inside the penalty area. First touch was a little off, and Chelsea will clear. Morata looks to knock it down to Hazard. Hazard gets away with the first one, but not the second, thankfully. But Chelsea still on the attack. This is Morata. Hazard's inside the penalty area if he can find him. Morata looking to take on Mustafi. Low ball in. Great smother from Petr Cech.
Yeah, good group defending again by Arsenal. It's not the cleanest of defending, but they get around each other. They manage to put their bodies in front of the ball, force Chelsea into a mistake, snuff them out. You've always got to worry when Hazard faces up 2v2 with Morata, but they dealt with that well, the back three.
Kale. Now it's with Drinkwater. Josh has been on. Joshua Fernandez says, come on, Arsenal, we have had a good record at Chelsea in the past year and a half, so let's keep it going. Yeah, the cup win, of course. And Community Shield and a 0-0 away draw in the league. Here is Mustafi. Back towards Maitland-Niles, away from Morata. What an accomplished performance it's been for Ainsley Maitland-Niles, hasn't it?
Agreed. He's been, but he has been blessed with some really good forward players in front of him down this side, which have helped him have that bit of space, because they've kept Chelsea away from him a little bit and allowed him a bit of time. I've been impressed with his defending, though. When he's been faced up with Victor Moses, who can be well dangerous, he's proved invaluable down this left-hand side.
Ball is at the feet of Thibaut Courtois at the moment, and we have got 13 minutes remaining. We're going to see Danny Welbeck at some stage.
Thought we was going to see him then, but he looks like he's
gone back out to warm up.
Gone back down to the bench. I just wonder if he's going to get his shirt and his boots ready. Yeah.
Shin pads on, maybe, we'll see. This is Lacazette. Challenged by Kale. Illegally, says the referee. Free kick. Ironic cheers from the Arsenal support. This is Maitland-Niles. Oh, that's a poor ball. That's the first poor thing I've seen him do all game.
Yeah, I think he was expecting Jack Wilshere to continue his run on, and we are just seeing Danny get ready. So he'll be looking at a change for Arsenal. I just wonder whether it will be Lacazette who comes off. I can't see it myself. It cannot be Ozil or Sanchez.
No. Here is Morata for Chelsea, left-hand side. 12 minutes remaining here. And looks to try and trick his way towards the byline, and Mustafi gets the challenge in, and the ball is cleared. And Arsenal have it with Ozil, but Zappacosta closes in, and just the presence of Zappacosta was enough to see Ozil give the ball away, unfortunately. Azpilicueta comes forward. Hazard was off in chase. This is Zappacosta, but again, Ainsley Maitland-Niles is too quick, and will look for Jack Wilshere. Wilshere then brought down by Bakayoko. Free kick.
Yeah, really good defending again from Maitland-Niles, wasn't it? He looks so composed, and he is so comfortable on the ball that as a defender, when you get closed down, it's normally by the forward trying to show you one way so that they can usher you into a corner and get a 2v2. But he's got that ability of doing just what you don't want him to do, because he's got the skills on the ball, and he's shown it he's had so much of it tonight. I don't know whether there's another player, young player, who's come through and looked that mature in that fewer games for me. He's played half a dozen games and he looks established in there.
Marcos Alonso. Now it's with Morata. Morata back towards Marcos Alonso, but Mustafi reads it well, and well, Drinkwater was there, but Mustafi rides the challenge and then looks to play it down the line for Lacazette, and then Cahill is in full-blooded from both Mustafi and Cahill, and Chelsea win a free kick.
Yeah, I think it is a free kick. Lacazette's just nudged Cahill in the back over on the left-hand side. Arsenal substitution is going to happen, and it is going to be Lacazette for Danny Welbeck.
So Danny's going to play through the centre, we presume, unless Alexis moves. Alexis is going to move, isn't he? And then Lacazette's going to come off. I want to see Danny through the middle.
Yeah, I can't see that. I'd like Dan. But it does look like Alexis Sanchez has gone into that middle thing. I mean, it's not a bad thing, is it? He's a great player. We've seen him score in his first season lots of goals from that position. But
yeah, it's an interesting one. Obviously, the Bottas feels.
I just think Danny's more dangerous down the middle, and I'd like to see him have that opportunity, especially since he's been given, you know, not very long to make a difference. 10 minutes at least. Stick him down the middle.
Here is Jack Wilshere, Arsenal's goal scorer, coming forward, central position. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez. Here is Chambers. Now it's with Holding, who will control. Willian's about to come on, incidentally, for Chelsea. It's a good season for the Blues, a terrific performer, the Brazilian. Any other team, he'd probably play every single game. This is Ozil. Now it's with Xhaka. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, left-hand side against Zappacosta. Ainsley Maitland-Niles with a shimmy and a shuffle. Can he get the crossing from the left-hand side? He's deeper towards that far side, but Marcos Alonso is there. And then Morata shoves Chambers in the back. Free kick Arsenal. Good spot from the referee.
Yeah, it was a good spot. It was an early shove, wasn't it, from Morata? Arsenal taking the free quick, so Chelsea can't make that substitution.
Here is Chambers. Now it's with Ozil. Williams still waiting to come on. Back with Ozil once again, right-hand side. Arsenal looking to pick their way through this packed Chelsea defence at the moment. This is Hector Bellerin looking to take on Marcos Alonso for pace. It's a decent ball in towards Welbeck, cleared away by Zappacosta. And then Bakayoko will get there ahead of Wilshere and Maitland-Niles, and it's out for an Arsenal throw-in. Willian coming on. Hazard coming off.
Eden Hazard.
Well, one or two boos from the Arsenal fans, as you would expect, but I'll tell you what, he's a great player.
Yeah, he is. I think he's just run out of steam. He has worked really hard tonight.
He has worked hard, hasn't he?
He's the main one to get up and support Morata, but he's still had to go back at times and do his shift. And because he likes to play out on the wings, he does some running. He switches from wing to wing. You know, he always pulls out wide. And a lot of his movements are really dynamic, so I think he's out on his feet, and it's a straight swap for him.
Yeah, same position. Danny Welbeck off on the move on the left-hand side, but too much for Danny. Can't keep that one in play. Don't forget, plenty of big games coming up for the Gunners, of course, with a double header in the Carabao Cup and the League Cup coming up against Chelsea. I wonder what type of games they're going to be. That's midweek, and then a fortnight after that, Nottingham Forest the weekend, of course, in the FA Cup third round, as the Gunners look to defend the cup that we won against tonight's opponents back in May. What a day that was. A lot to look forward to over the next few weeks. Every single game covered, of course. This is Cahill. Now it's with Drinkwater. Willian, first touch since coming on, looking to switch the play to Zappacosta on the right-hand side. What a ball that is. Zappacosta inside the penalty area. Ainsley Maitland-Niles just gets a touch, does enough to put him off, but then the Italian muscled his way back in, and then the shot from Marcos Alonso goes in. And Chelsea lead 2-1, 7 minutes remaining. Great persistent play from Zappacosta, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles for the first time has been beaten. And Marcos Alonso ghosting in statuesque defenders. Chelsea in front.
The first time, you're right, Dan, he's got his shirt pulled up at the minute, Ainsley, and he did pull it over his head. He did everything right. It was a great crossfield ball from Willian, his first touch since he comes on the pitch. Zappacosta tries to take it across Ainsley, but he defends well, stands up well, and just at the last minute he allows Zappacosta to get across him. He just whips one across, and for me it's marking in the box. It's not Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He's done what he can do. It's Mustafi's just let Morata get across No, Alonso get across the front of him. Oh, it's such a blow for Arsenal right at the end of the game. 6 minutes to go. Still enough time to turn this around, though, and to get it back where it should be at least, which is a draw. Both sides have, you know, played really well tonight. Marcos Alonso there ghosting in and not being picked up.
Yeah, we just seen on the monitor there that he holds up 6 fingers. That's his 6th goal of the season. He's a left wing back, 6th this season. Danny Welbeck looking to come forward for Arsenal. The ball goes out of play. He's had a very good Chelsea career from a player that I didn't think much of at Bolton or Sunderland when he was there briefly. I know he had some decent play out with Fiorentina in Italy, but I was very surprised that he came to Chelsea. But what a performer he's been.
Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise, is it? We looked at the average positions in the first half, and he was basically a left winger. If he goes out every week and plays there, he'll get goals on the far post, and he'll get goals like he did there, coming across at the near. I don't know what to say. I just feel sorry for the lads. Feel sorry for Ainsley. I just don't think Arsenal deserve this today.
No way. 5 minutes remaining. There is still a little bit of hope here. Kante breaking away from Wilshere. Arsenal win it back, though. This is Xhaka over to the right-hand side. And the Gunners come forward with Mesut Ozil now. What can he do? Left-hand flank is Ainsley Maitland-Niles on his right side. Back towards Danny Welbeck. Welbeck turns back in field. Now it's with Chambers. Chambers back to this near side. Ainsley Maitland-Niles controls well, finds Mesut Ozil, gets across towards the far post. Welbeck can't get there. Good defending. And then the shot comes in from Bellerin. It ricochets up inside the box. Cleared away only as far as Mesut Ozil. Thought it might go to Danny Welbeck there, but it was Cahill in the way. Chelsea on the move, on the turn. Morata brought down, free kick. Blues, is it? No. Play continues. Mesut Ozil steps away from one challenge, runs into Bakayoko, who wins it back. And then it's cleared. Holding, though, will stretch out a boot and win it back. Keep it in play.
Mesut Ozil still down up there. Dan, I don't know whether it's exhaustion or he's got maybe a little bang in his ribs as he tried to go through the Chelsea midfield there, try to make a difference.
Here is Wilshere. Maitland-Niles. Rob Holding on the halfway line here. Arsenal trail by 2-1, having led here against Chelsea. And the difference between the two teams is going to be 10 points after 22 games if it stays as it is. But Welbeck breaking forward. Alexis inside the area. Oh, it's a poor ball from Welbeck. There was 2 players to hit. He's won a corner, but he's got to do better.
He's absolutely got to do better. He finds good space down this right-hand side, gets behind Alonso. He's only got to slide it across, and you've got Alexis running into the near and Ozil following up behind him. It's poor execution, and we're going to see Theo Walcott come on, I think, for the last few minutes, Dan.
We are indeed. Callum Chambers is the player coming off. So Arsene Wenger throwing caution to the wind.
Being replaced by 14, Theo Walcott.
Theo's on. He's got a good record against Chelsea. He's got an awful lot of goals against them. Can he conjure something here in the final few minutes? Corner to Arsenal. Ozil swings it in. It's punched away by Courtois. He's going to bounce for Wilshere to battle with Kante, but Willian is there. Thankfully, so is Hector Bellerin. Then he's curled back in the box here towards Welbeck. Cleared away, edge of the area. Mustafi on the volley. Got hold of that. It's blocked by Chelsea. Arsenal still trying. 2 minutes remaining. Mesut Ozil, another crossfield ball. The diagonal. Marcos Alonso will nod away. And then puts the laces through it to the halfway line, but Hector Bellerin scampers back. Jack Wilshere, chip forward to the right-hand side. Now it's with Walcott. Can he get there? No, he can't. Cahill's too strong.
Yeah, it's tough against Chelsea in this position, and at 2-1 with just a few minutes to go, they can hold out for half a game easy, Chelsea. And that's what they're doing now. Arsenal trying to put the ball in the box. It's a great contact from Mustafi, and it does hit. Looks like it's Cahill in the arm, but
he's got his arms
he does the
by
right
his
thing.
side.
He's got his arms by the side, and he's tucking them in.
Yeah.
He's tucking them in. He's showing that movement. It's never going to get given against you for doing that. And Arsenal got undone at West Brom by a penalty, being undone again today at home against Chelsea. You've got to feel for the lads. Got to feel for them.
Just over a minute remaining. Miguel says, what makes me laugh is listening to people think that actually Arsenal under the current regime will do anything. These games against Chelsea are the games the fans need to step away. Only the board will ever spend on that so-called owner. Doesn't want to be at the club anymore, according to Miguel, who's not happy with the situation. Many more losses to come this season. Always a gunner, though, but action needs to be taken. Great show, though, he says at the end, Miguel, but not happy with the management structure or the ownership at the minute. Results like that, like this, if it is going to be a result like this.
The thing is, though, Dan, no one in this stadium supports the club because of the manager or the board structure. They support it because of the players on the pitch and because of the club. So regardless of them, everybody's got to just pull in the same direction. And we're trying week in, week out, and then you get undone by penalties, and it just, you know, just puts you down, and it just makes you feel unfair. But at the end of the day, that's where business happens out on the pitch, and if it's 2-1, it's 2-1. The scoreboard don't lie.
And there's no way that Arsenal deserve to lose this one.
No way, absolutely none.
And look, might not. Stranger things have happened in bigger games than this, and we'll see how many minutes of added time we're going to get in a few seconds. Luke says, how can we play 3 at the back when we don't have 3 first-team quality centre-backs? As good as Holding and Chambers are, they are too young. Mertesacker, not what he used to be. Wenger must now go to a back 4 or find a new centre-back in the next month.
Yeah, we
4
need
minutes of added on time.
We could do with a new CB. Everyone knows that. But I think they've played OK today for their lack of experience in big games like this.
Bakayoko, but Holding was fouled by Morata. So 4 minutes of added on time. Stick with us here. Let's see if Arsenal can get something out of this one. Keep sending your tweets in. Nicole will have the best of them a little bit later on. Have a bit of analysis, bit of opta for you at the end of the game as well. This is still Walcott breaking forwards here inside the penalty area. Ricochets up towards Alexis Sanchez. Pulls the trigger, good block. Comes back out to Jack Wilshere, 25 yards out, chips it back inside the area. Walcott jumps, doesn't quite win the header, and it should be cleared away by Willian up against Danny Welbeck. Willian on his own byline here, and then knocks it forward, nearly gives it to Granit Xhaka. Referee allows play to continue. Ozil, Wilshere, left-hand side is Maitland-Niles. Angle of the box, still Arsenal probing away. This is Wilshere again. Now it's with Mesut Ozil, right-hand side, in towards Hector Bellerin. The flag stays down, and it comes towards Alexis Sanchez, and he can't keep the header down.
It's a great header out from Zappacosta, right in front of Alexis Sanchez there. That was a certain goal.
Zappacosta just getting there ahead of the Chilean. Still the pressure is on. Wilshere, left-hand side is Mustafi. And it comes towards Welbeck, and it might fall for Hector Bellerin! Yes!
What a finish!
2-2. Arsenal, deep on added on time. 2 minutes after the 90 are back all square, and it's the Gunners fans' turn to celebrate now. What a hit!
Yeah, good bit of pressure. Twice Arsenal went out to this left-hand side. It's Mustafi that hooks the ball in. Welbeck goes for the challenge. Alonso heads it out to the edge of the box. Bellerin on the half volley. The ball's bouncing up, right-footed, edge of the box. Bang! Through the players. Courtois can't do nothing about it. Side netting, right-hand side, 2-2. Back in the game.
Bit of justice there, I think, because Arsenal do not deserve to lose this one. Morata's breaking forward for Chelsea. Great save, check. Might get another go with Zappacosta. Oh, he's in a crossbar.
What a finish to this game. I wish I supported neither of these clubs and was a neutral. It's unbelievable.
Chelsea coming forward. Kante, edge of the penalty area. Looks to try and find an out ball, but Danny Welbeck wins it back. Arsenal look to come forward. Xhaka tries to knock it forward. Welbeck, Wilshere wants it. Alexis calling for it. The Gunners coming forwards here. This is Xhaka now. Central position. Danny Welbeck on the right-hand side. It's a poor ball towards Welbeck, and it's going to go out of play.
Oh, Xhaka knows it as well. Opportunity to break. There's the chance for Chelsea. Oh, it's a ball in from KO over the top. Morata clean on again. Second time in the game with Petr Cech. This time he hits the target but misses. Zappacosta follows in, volleys it onto the crossbar.
Unbelievable finish to the game. I make it still 40 seconds remaining of it. Oh, my word.
Yeah, all Petr Cech can do is watch that Zappacosta shot ripple the bar.
Morata with a big chance, Cech with a big save, not for the first time. And then Zappacosta with a follow-up. Then at the other end, I thought we were in, but the ball from Xhaka not good enough for Welbeck. Well, players' heads must be swimming out there. So difficult to concentrate. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, coolest man on the pitch, controls. Alexis up against Azpilicueta, looking to take him on for pace. It's still Alexis Sanchez. The 4 minutes is just about up. Looks to curl it towards Theo Walcott, cleared away. Danny Drinkwater caught in possession. Free kick not given, doesn't matter. Referee blows his whistle. An extraordinary London derby. 2 apiece here. Arsenal going in front through Jack Wilshere before Eden Hazard scored with a contentious penalty, certainly after Bering caught the Belgian. Marcus Alonso then stole in to make it 2-1.